Welcome everybody to a brand new Blu-ray and DVD out and about video today. And this week sees the release of the musical fantasy Yesterday hitting store shelves along with the horror remake Child's Play, the action comedy Shaft, as well as Stephen King's The Stand is getting the Blu-ray treatment, and Scream Factory is releasing a collector's edition of John Carpenter's Vampires, plus much more. So let's go into the deals, exclusives, and we're at our first location, Walmart. So let's go in and see what they got. Alright everybody, we are at Walmart with this display for Yesterday right here. Look at that. Not bad display. I'm kind of surprised that they'd have one for Yesterday, but kind of cool actually. And the first thing I'm seeing is they have the Blu-ray, DVD, and digital of Yesterday for $22.96. They also have the DVD over here for $17.96. Now, Nick and I did a movie review on Yesterday. You can catch it on the movie review playlist. I'll also put a link down below in the description if you guys want to hear our full and complete thoughts on the movie. And I really was interested in checking this one out because I loved the trailer. I loved the concept of it. Just this guy who's really down in the dumps in his life, and suddenly some like freak accident happens around the world, and now suddenly nobody remembers the Beatles except for him. And he's got to try to remember these songs and sort of still bring them to the masses. And, you know, he's getting fame out of this, but yeah, he feels kind of guilty that it's their songs, but he's getting recognized for it. It's really interesting. On top of that, you have a really great romantic story with him and this woman that he's friends with, but it could be something more. I thought this was a really great film. I thought the acting was incredible here. I thought the music with the Beatles, I mean, the Beatles stuff already is immensely just sort of very catchy and just sort of sticks in your head. And I mean, this is the greatest hits of the Beatles by far, and it is so wonderful, man. It really is. And just this guy navigating through the waters of fame and trying to do his best to give these songs sort of the justice that they deserve, even though nobody knows of them except for him. I thought this was great. The acting was incredible. I thought the story was very great. I thought the characters were likable. It's one of those movies where it's a feel-good movie. You're gonna really feel good about it. You're gonna feel good after you leave the theater or after you watch it at home. It's something that I think really is going to stick in your head. I think the songs are going to stick in your head. And if you're a Beatles lover, this is definitely one to watch. And even if you're not a fan of the Beatles and just a fan of music, it's just a really fascinating movie, sort of a great what-if tale, which I really did enjoy quite a bit, guys. So yeah, this one I do highly recommend for sure. I think this is a great movie, and I had a blast watching this. I really did. I thought it was fun and very infectious, and just a really great time in the theater, and I can't recommend this enough. I really can't. Very, very well done, guys. Honestly, if you're a music fan, a Beatles lover, this should be high on your priority list by far, guys. I don't see any sort of exclusives or anything, but for Yesterday, I kind of figured we weren't going to get that, guys. But nice display here. Again, I'm really shocked that Yesterday, of all things, would get a display, but shocker enough, you never know what's going to get a display over here at Walmart, but pretty cool by far, guys. Not bad at all. All right, let's see what else Walmart's got. All right, everybody, we're over in this section of Walmart, and there is a lot of stuff that got released over here, man. Wow, a ton of releases. I am seeing they do have the 4K Ultra HD Blu-ray and digital of Yesterday for $27.96 if you guys weren't interested in the Blu-ray and the DVD. So they do have that as well over here. I'm also seeing they have the Blu-ray, DVD, and digital of Disney's Sleeping Beauty, the Anniversary Edition for $24.96. And they also have the Blu-ray, DVD, and digital of Disney's 101 Dalmatians for $24.96 as well. And I gotta tell you, man, these movies, man, they are part of my childhood. I grew up with this stuff, man. Like Little Mermaid and Snow White and Beauty and the Beast. I grew up with these titles, man. I love this stuff. Sleeping Beauty is classic, man. It's a classic fairy tale. I love it so much. I thought it was really imaginative, and I loved the characters, and I thought the villain Maleficent was great. I thought everything worked really well with this one, man. I really did. And again, as a little kid, you get into fairy tales, you get into this stuff, and Sleeping Beauty was so amazing, man. It really was. And these are classic, dude. These are timeless. I really love these type of movies so much, man. I really do. I'm not much of an animated guy, as you guys know, but the old school stuff, I love, dude. I love this stuff so much, man. I really do. Sleeping Beauty is definitely among the classics. At least for me it is. I love that stuff so much. And the same with 101 Dalmatians, man. Really. I mean, this is another one I grew up with. I'm a huge dog lover, basically because of my mother and father and being around dogs and everything. But 101 Dalmatians was just a really great movie. Cruella de Vil is a great villain. I love the story here. I love the animation. I love the heartwarming characters, and it's just a great heartwarming and very family friendly story that I really love, man. And God, these are classics to me. They really are. I know they're old school, and I know some people sort of don't like the old school animated movies and go towards the new school stuff. But I'm telling you guys, honestly, things like 101 Dalmatians or Sleeping Beauty, those are the ones that I grew up on. Those are the ones that sort of made me a movie lover, because I didn't start out watching horror movies, and I didn't start out watching action movies. I started out watching animated movies. And those are what I really grew up on. And this stuff was my bread and butter. And so I'll always consider this stuff classic. I honestly do, man. I really do. So for me, these are high recommendations by far. Both Sleeping Beauty and 101 Dalmatians by far, guys. God, if you haven't checked out these two classics, definitely go ahead and do it. So good, man. Then the next thing over here I'm seeing is they have the Blu-ray DVD and digital of Shaft 2019 for $22.96. They have the DVD for $15.96, and I got a chance to check this out on Amazon Prime, and I didn't see it in the theater. I wanted to, but I never got a chance because it really wasn't around for very long, unfortunately. I wanted to check it out basically because of the trailer. I thought the trailer looked really cool. I like Samuel Jackson. I think the character of Shaft is really cool. Now, interestingly enough, the first Shaft movie I ever saw was in 2001 with the Shaft movie starring Samuel Jackson. At that point, I didn't know who Shaft was. I didn't know anything about the character of Shaft. I just really liked Samuel at that point, so I'm like, okay, I'm going to watch what he's in. And I really liked that movie, man. I thought that was a really cool movie, directed by John Singleton. I thought the action was cool. I thought Shaft was this smooth, badass mother. Oh, shut my mouth. I thought it was really cool. And if you guys even remember, crazy enough, Christian Bale was the bad guy in that Shaft movie. If you guys remember that, dude, blast from the fucking past, dude. Christian Bale, of all people, played the mediocre and average bad guy in the Shaft movie. Talk about craziness. You look all the way back then, dude. But I was looking forward to the movie, and I thought it was fun. I liked it well enough. I didn't love it. Basically, it's just about sort of Shaft's son sort of eventually finding his estranged father, Shaft played by Samuel, and they sort of grow this bond together, and sort of he's learning the ropes from Shaft, and Shaft's learning to be a better father. And I've seen that story before. It's nothing new, honestly, guys, but I thought it was fun. I had a fun time with it, but I thought the story and overall the movie was kind of vanilla. Overall, to me, I thought it was. I mean, yeah, they say motherfucker a lot, and yeah, they swear up a storm. The action is pretty cool at times, but again, I think it's very tame. I really do. You know, those old school Shaft movies with Richard Roundtree, they were very much black exploitation movies at that point. You know, they had a statement to make in one way or another. The Shaft movie in the 2000 with Samuel, it felt more urban, it felt more street to me in a lot of ways. This, it has a little bit of that flavor, but it feels a little bit safe at times. You know, again, what makes this movie is Samuel L. Jackson, because he's got charm and charisma for days, and him playing Shaft, it really works. So, yeah, I mean, it's a fun movie. It's got okay action in it. If you're a fan of the Shaft franchise, I'd say maybe give it a chance. But outside of that, I think it plays a little too safe at times. And I think that one from the 2000s is actually a better movie, to be honest with you. Even though it has the, you know, sort of okay bad guy, crazy enough, played by Christian Bale. But yeah, this is an alright movie. But it was a fun time, and I will admit that, though. Then over here I'm seeing they have the Blu-ray of A Score to Settle for $14.96. They also have the DVD for $12.96 right here as well. Now, I got a chance to catch this on Amazon Prime, and I really wanted to watch it for Nicolas Cage, man, because I really love that fucking dude. And, you know, I just want to know what kind of Nicolas Cage were we going to get, exactly. Were we going to get balls out craziness Nicolas Cage? Were we going to get revenge, you know, sort of, you know, I'm out to get my payback, sort of, you know, Nicolas Cage? Or are we going to get more hilarious one? I wasn't really sure what we were going to get here. And it's a really interesting story about this guy who's released from prison after many years, and he's only got a short time left, you know, in his life to live. He finds out something, and he's on a revenge trip to get these people back for what happened to him. And it's a really good movie. I like this one. I like Nicolas Cage in here. He's being badass, revenge, I'm gonna take out everybody, motherfucker, kind of like Nicolas Cage character, and I think he pulls it off really well, man. I really do. I thought it was brutal when it had to be. I liked him as a sympathetic character. It may be a slightly over the top moments at times, but I will tell you, I think Nicolas Cage should have reined it in a little bit for me. But I still think it's awesome, dude. I think Nicolas Cage plays this really well done, dude. I honestly really did enjoy this, man. It's not the best action movie or best revenge movie you've ever seen, but I think it's still really good, man. I honestly really enjoyed it. I did. Crazy enough. Definitely give this one a look, especially if you're a Nicolas Cage fan and you like revenge movies. I think you guys might enjoy this one. Then over here I'm seeing they have the DVD of Anna for $12.96. They have the Blu-ray for $14.96, and they have the 4K Ultra HD Blu-ray and digital for $17.96. Now, I got a chance to watch this on Amazon Prime. I actually wanted to watch it in the theater because I really loved the trailer, man. I thought the trailers were really awesome, man. I thought they were just really badass. I loved the action in the trailer. I thought she looked like one kick-ass, you know, don't mess with me kind of chick. I wanted to see it, and I never got a chance to, unfortunately. And I waited until it hit on Amazon Prime to check it out, and I liked it. I thought it was really good. I thought the action here was really well done. I like the characters. I like that it's a really good, like, spy assassin sort of movie where, you know, anything can happen at any moment. You really can't trust anybody. You know, you always have to look behind your back. I like those type of movies. I think they're really good. I thought the main actress here did a great job. Sasha Luss, who this is her first main starring role. I thought she did a really good job here. The other actors, Luke Evans, Cillian Murphy, Helen Mirren, I thought all of them did a fantastic job here. Really well done movie. I will say this much, though. I think the plot is a little confusing at times. I think the problem is it can get really complicated. There's like, you know, there's like somebody crosses another person, and then there's a double cross, and then there's a triple cross, and then there's a quadruple cross, and it's like, and then they flash back so many times of, like, you know, 3 months earlier or 3 years earlier or 6 months later, and it just, I think it would confuse a lot of people. I kept up with the plot pretty well, but I know for some people they probably would kind of blank out a little bit on the plot because it is really complicated, and you really do have to pay attention. You can't just sit there like on your phone and everything, you really got to pay attention to this thing, because if you miss an important key moment in the movie, you might like miss out on a lot of stuff. So you honestly definitely have to keep up with the plot in a big bad way. But other than that, though, like I said, I really did enjoy the action here, and I like the characters, and I like these type of spy assassin movies. So this one wasn't bad. You know, again, I thought the plot could have been a little bit better and way less complicated. But other than that, though, this is a really good one, really cool action, like badass chick flick to definitely check out, guys. Definitely give this one a look for sure. And then over here, guys, I'm seeing they have the Blu-ray digital of Child's Play 2019 for $19.96. They also have the DVD for $14.96 right here. Now, I did a spoiler review with John. You can catch it on the movie review playlist. I'll also put a link down below in the description if you want to hear our full and complete thoughts on the movie. And I'm not gonna lie, guys, I was really hesitant to watch this movie. I mean, really hesitant in a big bad way. I really love those Chucky movies, man. I think the Child's Play franchise is really cool. I think Chucky's a great bad guy. I think he's awesome. I love the kills. I love just how sort of evil and sometimes funny Chucky can be at times. Like, he can be humorous while killing, but yet really sinister and sick, and I like that about it, dude. I really do. And I was hesitant because I'm like, why are we remaking Child's Play? What's the real need to do it? You know what I mean? That's what I felt like. And I mean, I knew I was gonna watch it regardless. I just was like thinking to myself, why? Really? And my fears were confirmed. I'm not gonna lie, guys. I mean, this movie is such a pale comparison to not only the original Child's Play movie, but the Child's Play franchise in general. I mean, it's just an incredibly sort of weak movie. The kills, there's a couple of good kills here, but a lot of them is pretty weak. I thought a lot of the characters I just did not like. I really was rooting against some of these characters, like the mother, and sometimes even Andy. I was like, you know, Andy really was not always the most likable person in the world here. Even the Chucky doll itself, man, the design of the Chucky doll is, oh, dude, the design of the Chucky doll is god awful, man. It really is. I do not like the design of it. I thought it just looks really sort of just horrifying, but not in a good way. It really turns you off. Like, if this is supposed to be a popular toy, like, really? I mean, I've seen Furbies that look a hell of a lot more like terrifying and interesting than this Chucky doll. God, I don't know, man. Really just bad design. And Mark Hamill, who voices Chucky, he does a good job here, but he's not given much to do. And the blood and gore here, there's not a ton of blood and gore either. It's just a very tame and lame version of Child's Play that's trying to update it for modern times, but it really doesn't succeed at all, guys. Honestly, it doesn't. Man, this one is really just a lame horror remake, and I can't recommend it, man. I mean, they tried, and they tried to update it for modern times, but it just did not work. And so I'm telling you guys to honestly stay away from this thing. This thing is beyond a turd, and yeah, just flush it down the toilet big time. This thing's bad, man. A whole lot of bloody fun. I really disagree with that guy. I really do. Not good at all, man. Stay away. Trust me, you'll thank me later. Then they have the DVD of Awake for $9.96 right here. Jonathan Rhys-Meyers, William Forsythe. Oh, not bad. What is this? Some nightmares happen after you're awake. Interesting. What is this about? Quiet evening. A shabby bass sedan speeds on a gravel fly through the air when suddenly the car slides out of control into a ravine. Feel bad. Oh, okay. So it's basically about sort of an amnesia story with them accusing him of this crime, and then they're sort of on the run. So it's a mix of a lot of different type of movies, man. I mean, I like sort of a good sort of amnesia tale and sort of on the run type of movie. I do like Jonathan Rhys Meyers. He is a good actor. He doesn't get a lot of love as an actor like as some other people do, but he's really good though. And William Forsythe, man, he's a really great dude. I met him at a convention once. One of the nicest guys, dude. He really is really kind, has a ton of stories to tell. He's a really great personality of an actor. Huh. Doesn't look half bad. Interesting. The cover's kind of generic, but I do like the story. Interesting. Interesting. They also have the DVD of Jacob's Ladder for $12.96 right here. Now, oh boy, I watched this, guys. I watched this piece of garbage, dude. Ooh, baby, this thing has stink all over it, man. Now, I remember when the trailer came out for this, and it got such bad reaction, man. People were literally, like, so pissed off. Like, really? Not only are you remaking Jacob's Ladder, which, by the way, the original Jacob's Ladder is awesome. Tim Robbins is great in it. It's such a really sort of perverse and demented story, and really just well done here. And this movie does not do that original film any favors whatsoever, guys. I mean, it's not even really the same story exactly. I mean, it's this guy who is sort of this doctor, and he's sort of, an army vet, and I guess what ends up happening is that his brother is in trouble, and something to do with this military drug, and how it's manipulating the soldiers, and how they're seeing things that aren't really there, and how they're on the run, and there's these shady people that are trying to maybe kill them because they maybe know too much. It's really overly complicated, and oh man, the scares here are really lame. The whole like trying to be very like monsters and demented stuff like the original, it can't pull it off whatsoever. I mean, the original has some great like monster effects and some great like effects where it basically is in your mind. You know what I mean? Like there's moments here, well not in here, but in the original where like it's all in your head. Like you think you see it, but you're not sure, and you think the character sees it, but you're not sure what really is going on, and it's sort of very unsettling. It's all in your imagination, and here you get to see way too much, and I think it takes away from the scariness of it. I thought the acting here was really just sort of average to mediocre at best. And I thought when the reveal finally happens at the end, I was like, really? You had such a complicated plot, and you really went with that ending, and you're trying to make it somewhat close to the original Jacob's Ladder, but oh dude, like this thing, as far as remakes go, like I didn't love Child's Play, put it that way, but I'll take Child's Play over Jacob's Ladder any day of the week, guys. This thing is a hot, stinking pile of garbage. It really is. This is a waste of a remake. It's not good. I like Michael Ealy, he's a good actor, but this is just saddled with a really bad story. And what I don't understand is that why did you call it Jacob's Ladder? I mean, it has really nothing to do much in the way of the original Jacob's Ladder, other than his name is Jacob, and they kind of have a little bit of stuff with the army stuff, but outside of that, not too much. I mean, you could have called it anything else, but Jacob's Ladder, it's a reimagining, but it's a shitty reimagining at best, and I honestly would not recommend it, guys. I honestly wouldn't. Stay away from this one big time, honestly. Not good at all. Whew, stinking pile of garbage that is. Then I'm seeing over here they have the DVD of Burn for $14.96 here with Suki Waterhouse, Josh Hutcherson, Hilla Fernandez. Interesting. Burn. Hell of a night. Not bad. I like that cover, man. I really do. That cover is pretty cool. Melinda, a lonely and unstable gas station attendant, is tired of being overshadowed by her more confident, outgoing coworker Sheila. The agent is held by Billy. She needs to take matters into her own hands, regardless of who gets hurt. That's interesting. I kind of like that. That is really interesting there. But I guess the gunpoint. Oh, okay. So sort of like being held hostage, and sort of the craziness of the night and everything. That's interesting. I kind of like that, man. I don't really know much about this one, but I like the cover. Like, the cover alone looks really, like, vibrant and cool and kind of looks badass. And just, like, if I were to, like, just, like, pass by this, it would definitely catch my eye. I would definitely be interested in this. If you guys know anything about Burn, let me know. Huh. They also have the Blu-ray DVD digital of Inside Man Most Wanted for $14.96. Huh. I know this came out this week as well. It must be sort of like a sequel, because we'll get to this one in a second, but it's a weird sequel. Like, really, Inside Man gets a sequel or something? Look at that. Really cool mask, but the ultimate game of copycat and mouse. A suspenseful heist thriller starring is a gripping game of cat and mouse that will keep you guessing. Oh, so it's really only sort of Inside Man in name only. It's trying to ape off of the other movie, but it's kind of doing its own thing at the same time. Huh. Let's put the. Okay, it's sort of this bank heist movie, and sort of, people who don't get along having to try to pull this off. That's okay. It could be cool. I do like a good bank heist movie, and I've seen some really good ones. I don't know how this one is. It looks kind of okay. I don't know why they would call it. I mean, I understand why they call it Inside Man, because it's a bank robbery thing, and they have a man on the inside, and I get it. I understand it, but still, it looks okay. I've seen way too many of these, and some are really good, and some are not so good. Is this good? Well, I don't know. You'll have to let me know on that one, guys. I don't think I'll be interested in checking this one out, though. Then over here, I'm seeing the DVD of Inside Man, the 2 movie collection, for $16.96. And this one actually has Inside Man Most Wanted with the original Inside Man with Denzel and Clive Owen and everything. Interesting. I think I honestly think they just did this 2 movie collection to try to sell Inside Man, because there's not really any other major connection. I mean, other than the bank robbery stuff, I don't really see much of a connection really to the other movie. It's just basically Inside Man in name, and just, hey, we're just make this movie, and just why not call it Inside Man and ape off of the success of the first one. I mean, I like the first movie. Inside Man is cool. I like Denzel in it. I think Clive Owen's cool. Jodie Foster. It was a good little sort of like crime thriller, but it didn't like light the world on fire, but it's okay. Inside Man Most Wanted looks like it's just aping off of the success of it, and that's it. Not much else to speak of. I mean, like I said, I like a good crime thriller, but when you're just trying to like name it Inside Man because of the other movie, there's not really much creativeness there. Well, that's just me. It's a really odd 2 movie collection. I mean, it's good because it's all called Inside Man, but there's really just no connection between both of the movies outside of the robbery stuff. So it really makes no sense to me to even pick this up. If you like the first Inside Man, then just pick that one up. You don't really need Inside Man Most Wanted, but I don't know. That's just my opinion, guys. And over here, guys, I'm seeing they have the Blu-ray DVD of The First King, Birth of an Empire right here. And I like the cover. The cover looks like somebody who's just worn down after a long, like, battle sequence or something. Huh. Interesting. What is this one about? Romulus and Remus are 2 shepherds and loyal brothers who are into greatness is filled with blood. Okay, that doesn't look bad. I'm not really a fan of these sort of like, epic, like sword movies back in the day, like sort of like, sort of the Knight Templar type of stuff, or, that type of stuff. I mean, I like some of those movies, but very few and far between. I'm not a huge fan of those. There's certain time periods that I like better than others. And this time period, I don't really like to explore too much. It's not really a genre or a time period that I really go for, but it kind of looks cool. Maybe the battle sequences are really interesting. Huh. I mean, it doesn't look like it's a cheaply made movie, so it looks like there is some effort behind here, so maybe it is pretty good. Huh. Definitely let me know what you think of The First King, Birth of an Empire. Interesting. Then over here I'm seeing they have the Blu-ray digital of The Tracker for $14.96 and the DVD for $12.96 right here. Oh, look, my man Dolph right there. Yeah. Revenge never stops. Damn right. Look at that. Cool. What this is about, man. Years ago, the wife... Aiden, a decade later. Oh, okay. It's basically him wanting justice, revenge, trying to find out the conspiracy of you know, these bastards that killed his family, and he's going after them, and he's being badass Dolph motherfucking Lundgren. Yeah, baby. I love Dolph Lundgren, man. You know, a lot of people, I think, don't give this dude a lot of credit, man. He's one badass dude. I love a lot of his movies, man. I really do, and he's great. He's just a really, really great actor who's gotten some great recognition, but not as much as I think he deserves. I've seen these type of movies before, unraveling conspiracies, revenge type of tales, but, you know, honestly, if Dolph is in it, I might have to give it a chance, because I really do love Dolph, and Dolph alone is worth at least a look when it comes to any movie that he's in. At least that's in my opinion. Definitely let me know what you think. If you've definitely seen The Tracker, let me know about that too. Huh. Interesting. The Tracker. My man Dolph, baby. Then over here I'm seeing they have The Black String, the DVD for $12.96 with Frankie Muniz. That guy from Malcolm in the Middle? Paranoia cuts deep. Really? Frankie Muniz is in a horror movie. I guess there's a first time for everything. Okay. Let's see here. Oh, is that guy from, like, the Mummy movies? Yeah, I think it is. Huh. Let's see. After Jonathan hooks up with Sexy through a swingers hotline. They still have swingers hotlines? Really? Okay. He becomes incredibly ill, suffering from blackouts and hallucinations. Jonathan is a follower. He becomes convinced that he's a helpless victim of evil. Oh, well, maybe it's a good thing I don't use swingers hotlines. You might catch something, and more than just an STD. Oh, good lord, man. He's part of this weird cult, and he's trying to, like, figure it out, and okay, that's interesting. I like the plot. It's not bad. I mean, maybe he should have wore a condom, but I mean, if he caught something, but I mean, I've never seen Frankie Muniz in a horror movie. Maybe this is the first time he's ever been in one? I don't remember another one, but it looks interesting, maybe kind of a little cheap, but I do like the story aspects, and just alone, Frankie Muniz in a horror movie kind of interests me. I'm not gonna lie, guys. Frankie Muniz in a horror movie, The Black String. That does look really interesting, I'm not gonna lie. And the cover doesn't look half bad either. Definitely let me know what you think of The Black String. Then over here I'm seeing they have Daughter of the Wolf, the DVD for $12.96. Let the hunt begin. Nice. Look at that, dude. Is that Richard Dreyfuss? Damn, that looks awesome, man. I like the cover to this. The cover alone looks really cool, man. Yo, that would definitely get my attention. Following the death of her father, ex-military desperate to save her son, Claire, and birth on perilous. Oh, interesting. I like that. I like that she's got to, like hunt down these people who took her son, and like Richard Dreyfuss is in here. It looks like Richard Dreyfuss might be helping her or something, and it's in like the Alaska cold and trying to survive that, and that looks really interesting, man. I gotta tell you, man, Richard Dreyfuss is doing some really interesting stuff. Like, you know, I'm glad he's doing more acting roles, man. He's a great actor. He deserves all the credit in the world, but it's interesting, this one, or even something like Astronaut, man. I mean, he's doing some really interesting work. I'm glad to see him doing more stuff, man. This looks really cool and badass. I would definitely be interested in this for sure, man. God, if you guys have seen Daughter of the Wolf, definitely let me know. That does look interesting. Then I'm also seeing over here they have a new release for the Tim Burton movie Sleepy Hollow for $14.96. Oh, this looks really cool. Look at that. Oh, nice. Look at that. I think it's like a digibook. Yeah, it's a digibook release. Oh, really interesting. What does it look like? Oh, on the back. Look at that. It's got like pictures and sort of some stories from the set or everything. Oh, and the 20th anniversary. My God, dude, I'm getting old, man. Yo. I didn't know they were coming out with a new edition here. Wow, that's really awesome. I like that, dude. I have the DVD of Sleepy Hollow, but I've never bought the Blu-ray. Maybe it's time to upgrade. Oh, dude, this is nice. I love this movie, dude. Sleepy Hollow is great. They've made a lot of movies about Ichabod Crane and the Headless Horseman. There was that animated movie that's actually really good. I like that animated movie quite a bit. But this is a great movie and a great different take from Tim Burton. I love Johnny Depp in here, man. He's funny, yet he's sort of terrified as well. He makes a great Ichabod Crane. Christina Ricci is awesome in here as well. She's really great as his love interest. I sort of like the comedy with sort of the heads rolling and the blood spurting in Johnny Depp's face, and I like sort of Tim Burton's take on this. I really do. This is one of the last really great Tim Burton movies, I think. I really do. And I usually love any sort of collaboration that he does with Johnny Depp for the most part. There's a couple things that I really didn't like, but this one is really one of the last ones, man. I really do. Christopher Walken is awesome here as well in a brief cameo. He's awesome as well. I thought this was a really well done horror movie. Really, really did, man. This is great to get the love for the 20th anniversary. Yeah, I might definitely have to pick this one up, guys. This is really cool. Yeah, let me know what you think of Sleepy Hollow. And then they also have over here the Blu-ray, DVD, and digital of Pavarotti for $17.96. A film by Ron Howard. The voice, the man, the drama, the legend. I've heard of Pavarotti. I've heard some of Pavarotti singing. I'm not really into opera too much, so for me, opera is not really a big musical genre I get into. But I do appreciate this guy because his singing voice is amazing. This guy's singing voice is electrifying, man. Just like literally, him singing could literally just like bring the house down, man. He has an amazing voice, and it's interesting. It's kind of like the documentary on this guy and sort of performances and never before seen footage and interesting. I don't think they've ever done an actual documentary on Pavarotti's life, have they? Or behind the scenes stuff? I don't think they ever did. This is really interesting. And a film by Ron Howard. Ron Howard must be really passionate about this in order to do one about it, but if you guys are interested in this or know anything about it, let me know. And what you think of Pavarotti. An amazing singing voice, and again, I don't get into much opera, but maybe I should. Then over here I'm seeing they also have this King of Horror Expanded Edition 8-film set. It doesn't have a price on it, but I wanted to show it off because this looks really cool, man. This 8-film set here, really nice, man. Of course, now we're heading into the Halloween season, and of course, Stephen King is, of course, one of the things that people get into. And what do we got here? We got Salem's Lot, The Shining, Creepshow, Cat's Eye, It, 1990s, Shawshank Redemption, The Green Mile, Dreamcatcher. Some of these are not really horror movies. I mean, The Green Mile's not really horror. The Shawshank Redemption is not really horror either. But I really like this selection. I mean, the Salem's Lot is awesome. I love Salem's Lot. Creepshow, of course, classic. Cat's Eye, I haven't watched Cat's Eye in years. I think they might be coming out with another edition, a Blu-ray edition of Cat's Eye soon. They might be. It, 1990, of course, classic. Shawshank Redemption is great. The Green Mile. I wasn't honestly always a fan of Dreamcatcher. Dreamcatcher was just okay. It was kind of interesting with the aliens and sort of the backstory with it, but I wasn't a huge fan of that one. It was just okay, but King of Horror, Dreamcatcher. Interesting. Some really good movies here. And an H-film set, not bad. For all you Stephen King lovers out there who have not actually, like, checked out any of these ones or don't have them on DVD or anything, H-film set, not bad. I like the cover, though. The cover's really cool. Not bad at all. And then over here I'm seeing they have I Got the Hookup 2 on DVD for $9.96. I think this came out a while back, but I'm just actually seeing it now here. That's really interesting, dude. I vaguely remember I Got the Hookup, the first one. Vaguely. Like my brain has to wipe off a lot of cobwebs in order to remember that one, man. It was a while back, dude. Why make a sequel all these years later? Was there a reason, or they just said, fuck it, why, might as well? I don't know. I mean, you got Master P in here, AJ Johnson, Fatboy SSE, John Witherspoon, Romeo Miller, Jess Hilarious, and DC Youngfly. Can anybody tell me who the fuck these people are? I know Master P. I've at least got that going for me, but I don't know who the hell these other people are. I have no idea. It's kind of like them doing like a How High 2. Like, why did you need to do a How High 2? Like, the first one's pretty cool, but maybe it's trying to be like one of those like new classic like House Party or Friday movies, and yeah, dude, you ain't doing that whatsoever. Yeah, get the hell out of here. You are not doing that, dude. If you think you're gonna compete with those, you are sadly mistaken. I don't care how much bling or, you know, how many teeth you have that are made of gold. I don't care, dude. Like House Party's classic. You know, the Friday movie's classic. This, yeah, I'm gonna say skip it. And it does have a killer soundtrack with songs by Master P, E40, Jeezy, Romeo, Symphonic, and more. Again, who the fuck are these people? Oh, man. Maybe I'm just old school, but yeah. I think that this would be a hard skip for me, guys. But if you guys are interested in I Got the Hookup 2 for some crazy reason, they have it here at Walmart? Huh? All right, well, some really interesting selection this time around. A lot of titles, man. Ooh, man, a lot of stuff came out this week. All right, let's see what else they've got. All right, guys, we are over in this section of Walmart, and the first thing I'm seeing over here is they have the complete fourth season of DC's Legends of Tomorrow for $19.96. Now, I have never seen any of DC's Legends of Tomorrow. I've told you guys that in previous out and abouts when other seasons of Legends of Tomorrow have come out. You know, first of all, I don't have CW, but DC's Legends of Tomorrow never really interested me. Well, I can't really say it never really interested me, because it was of interest during the first season, and then I heard a lot of people kind of didn't really like the first season, so I kind of stayed away. I heard that the second and third season is really good, but I was looking up the trailer for DC's Legends of Tomorrow Season 4, and it looks like a very weird and wacky season, man. Like, I was looking up the trailer and watching, I'm like, wow, man, just almost like a messed up, like, fantasy fairy tale season of all these different sort of fairy tale things sort of coming to life and trying to kill people, and that the DC's Legends of Tomorrow crew are trying to stop them. You know, it's interesting. I've heard mixed bags about Season 4. Some people really like it, and other people really don't. And I'm kind of interested on where you guys lie on this, because I'm not going to lie, I like the trailer a lot. It looks very demented and weird with these sort of fairy tale people sort of now, like, just wreaking havoc on the world and them having to stop them. It feels very much like very comedic and very over the top, but has that always been DC's Legends of Tomorrow? That's just the vibe I got from the trailer. I don't know if it's more serious or not. I don't know. It seemed way over the top and way ridiculous, but that might be something I might be interested in. Again, I've never seen any of it. Mind you, I was interested previously, but again, I heard bad things, so I stayed away. I'm getting into Supergirl, as I told you guys before in the past video, but I could get into more of the CW stuff. I don't mind doing it. I just want to know whether it's worth it or not. I mean, it looks like a cool show. It looks like very vibrant and very weird and interesting characters. It looks like something I would be into, but I definitely want to know what you guys think of this one. Is it worth it, or do you think that the shows, like, are not that good and that it sort of went downhill? I mean, definitely let me know, guys. Then the next thing I'm seeing over here is they have American Horror Story Apocalypse for $17.96. I forgot this was even coming out this week, man. Damn, dude. American Horror Story Apocalypse. Now, I watched the first season of American Horror Story, and I love that first season. That first season is amazing, man. I own it on I think DVD or Blu-ray, and I really love that first season. I think that first season is absolutely awesome, man. It's really just a really gruesome season. I like the characters. I thought the story was really cool. And I've watched sort of bits and pieces of other seasons. I haven't watched a full season since the first one. I've watched sort of bits and pieces, and some of it's really impressed me, and other parts of it have been a little bit not impressive. It's sort of been a mixed bag for me. I know from the trailers that this combines the stuff from Murder House with the stuff from Coven, I believe it is. And they mix sort of the two seasons together in sort of this sort of like genre mashup type of season. I've actually heard good things. People have told me that they really did like this season. They thought it was really good. I've heard also people say that it's a little weak as far as like them sort of building to sort of the Antichrist stuff as well. It's kind of cool that they combined Murder House with Coven. I like Murder House. Murder House is great that first season. Coven, I don't love Coven. I think Coven is good, but it's not great. It has its great moments, but it has some of its weak moments as well. I did hear this was really good, though. I did hear that it was a good mashup. Let me know what you guys think of this. Again, I haven't really got into American Horror Story like a full season in a long time. I've liked bits and pieces of other seasons, but not like a full-on season since the very first one. Could this change it? I mean, definitely let me know, guys. I like that it's a cool mashup, and I like what American Horror Story is doing. They're kind of like switching up genres or mashing things up, and I like that they take some risks. Sometimes it's not always successful, but I do appreciate what they try to do. I like the cover, though. I think that's really cool with the baby in red and some sort of monster creature, like, having the baby suck its fingernail. Ugh, God. That is really weird, man. But very cool. Definitely let me know what you guys think of this, man. Is it worth it, or did this experiment not really work? Definitely let me know, guys. Other than that, that's all I'm seeing over here, guys. And that's all that I'm seeing over here at Walmart. Really great stuff this week, man. A lot of variety. All right, let's head out. Damn, man. This week is like releases galore, man. Wow, man. Holy cow. I knew it was going to be a jam-packed week for releases, but coming here to Walmart and really seeing all the stuff that's out this week really is like, wow, dude. Like, so many big name releases. You have the independent titles, you have the TV shows. I mean, not really anything here as far as exclusives are concerned. I don't really know whether we're going to see any major exclusives this week. We might see a couple, but I don't think this is the week exactly for exclusives, more as it is just variety. And the variety is crazy, man. If you're a movie lover, man, this week has so much to offer, man. And Walmart has the variety up the ass here, guys. I mean, so much selection and variety to choose from. Really great week here to check out a really lot of awesome titles for sure, guys. Yeah, I was definitely impressed by Walmart. I hope you guys are too. All right, let's head to the second location and see what else we can find. All right, everybody, we are at our second location, Target. You know, this week, there's a lot of stuff to show off. I mean, Walmart pretty much proved that. And I know even on like lesser weeks, we still have a lot of stuff to show off. But when there's a big release week like this, sometimes it's really hard to keep up, man. And, you know, you really got to see a lot of really great variety at Walmart. Are we going to see the same over at Target? I think we will. And the reason why I say that is because on slow release weeks, the store that tends to suffer the most is Target. They tend to because they just don't have a lot of variety. When there's big release weeks, a lot of new releases coming out, big name titles, Target usually tends to do really well with that. So I'm hoping we get to see cool variety. Maybe not as good as Walmart, obviously, but still quite a lot to show off. And on top of that, maybe an exclusive or two. Well, here's the hoping, guys. But let's head into Target and find out. All right, everybody, we are in a Target here, and the first thing I'm seeing is they have the Blu-ray of Anna for $14.99, the DVD for $13.99 here. Oh, that's interesting. Just a dollar difference. Hell, I'd go with just a Blu-ray. But so this movie is directed by Luc Besson. Now, Luc Besson, man, he is a really great director, dude. You know, whether it's Leon the Professional, La Femme Nikita, The Fifth Element. He did that Valerian movie, which I didn't really enjoy the Valerian movie. I don't know. I just felt it wasn't that good of a movie, especially how long he worked on it. I was like, eesh, yeah, I'm not a fan of that one. But he also did Lucy, which I really like Lucy. I know a lot of people don't really care for it, but I thought it was actually a really cool movie overall. And he does a lot with these sort of really badass chicks. These sort of like empowering these females, kick-ass women. And this is no exception. I mean, you have a very strong and capable female lead here. You have Helen Mirren here who plays this sort of older woman in the KGB who's very hardened and tough, and she did a great job. And I feel like Luc Besson does a lot of very interesting and unique movies. They're not exactly like your typical run-of-the-mill action stuff. Like, you know, Fifth Element was very unique and different. And even though I didn't really like Valerian, it was very different sci-fi than what you had seen before. You know, I think once people really saw like La Femme Nikita and Leon the Professional, I think that's when people were like, wow, this guy really is a great director and he really knows what he's doing. And like I said, I like that he deals with these badass female characters. I think they're awesome. But I would argue with him about this. I mean, have badass female characters, I'm cool with it. But make the plot a little bit more digestible, because I like a good spy assassin movie, but there's times here where I'm rolling my eyes, where I'm like, really? Like we're flashing back again? Like she betrayed somebody again? And I'm like, it felt like there were too many double crosses, too many triple crosses. It felt like, you know, at a certain point it became hard to follow. You know what I mean? I mean, I did a pretty good job, but still, you can have a badass female character all you want, but you gotta have a really great story on top of it. And as much as the action is good, it's the plot that kind of suffers a bit. And I think that's where he probably needs to work on it a little bit. Some of his plots are really good. He's got the badass stuff. He's got the action all right, but just focus on the plot again. Again, Luc Besson's a really great director, and any man who takes a ridiculous premise like Lucy and turns it into somewhat of a watchable movie definitely has my vote of confidence for sure. Definitely let me know what you think of Luc Besson, guys. Then over here I'm seeing they have the Blu-ray digital of Child's Play 2019 for $19.99, the DVD for $14.99 here. And so it's kind of interesting because they did this movie without the blessing of Don Mancini. Now, Don Mancini is the creator of Chucky and the Child's Play series and has continued to be the writer of it and has continued to do stuff with the franchise. And it's kind of interesting because a lot of people wondered how could they actually do a movie of this without Don Mancini's permission. Well, actually, if I'm not mistaken, MGM holds the rights to the original Child's Play film. They actually hold the rights to it. The sequels are actually with Universal. So they could actually do a Child's Play movie and not need Don Mancini's permission, which really sucks. I mean, they came to Don Mancini and they said, hey, we would like you to have a producer credit on here. And Don Mancini's like, do I have any say in anything? No, you just have a producer credit. It's kind of like you give your blessing to the movie. And he's like, no, not going to do it. And I don't blame him, dude. I don't blame him at all, man. Why do that? Fuck that, man. And I mean, the Chucky series is still going. I mean, they did a movie like a year or so back. They're going to do this TV show, I think, on Sci-Fi, which is going to continue with the Chucky characters. So that franchise is still continuing. I just don't see the need to remake this if the original series is still going strong. You know what I mean? I mean, just my opinion, guys, but sometimes there's these really needless remakes out there, or times where you're like, there's really no point other than a simple cash grab, and this really is, I hate to say it, a full-on cash grab. It's one of those ones that really, honestly, I could see in about maybe a couple years' time being in the bargain bin at Best Buy or Walmart or something. I mean, I just don't see this really holding any value or weight whatsoever. It's got some bloody stuff in it, and sometimes it has some cool kills, but outside of that, oh, man, you know, any of the Chucky movies is way better than this. Just my honest opinion, guys. Then they also have that Inside Man 2 movie collection for $16.99, which, by the way, is anybody really clamoring for this 2 movie collection? I mean, really, I'm not trying to be mean or anything. I'm just like, Inside Man was a good movie, and I like Denzel, but this is not exactly one of Denzel's most memorable roles, to be honest with you. And Inside Man Most Wanted looks all right at best, but it looks just sort of like a very simple, average sort of bank heist movie. It doesn't look like anything crazy or ridiculous. So you just have a 2 movie collection for the sake of a 2 movie collection. I mean, like I said, it's not going to light the world on fire, and I don't think anyone's going to be bum rushing me to actually get it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, sometimes, you know, I've noticed that there's certain movie collections that I find that make no sense. Like, why do they exist? Do they exist because you just, I guess we gotta just put this with another movie, and why the fuck not? I mean, maybe, but there's certain 2 movie collections that don't make sense, and Inside Man is one of them, dude. I mean, definitely let me know what you think, though, about movie collections. Some are really cool, but other ones like this really baffle me. And the next thing over here, guys, is I'm seeing they have the Blu-ray, DVD, and digital of Pavarotti for $19.99. You know, interesting. I'm kind of intrigued by this movie just because of Ron Howard, because he's a very unique director, and for him to do a Pavarotti sort of behind the scenes sort of, you know, look into his life and career is really fascinating to me. I mean, you know, there's certain genres of music I'm not into. Like, I'm not really into country. Some of that hardcore metal stuff, not really into. I mean, I've changed my taste over the years, and I've actually honestly looked into some of the opera stuff in recent years because it kind of interests me, because these singers and everything, even though they're not as popular as Pavarotti, I mean, the kind of work they have to put into with their voice is amazing, man. And I mean, I think Pavarotti definitely gave the opera world sort of a boost that it definitely deserved. I mean, I would maybe give this a chance just out of Ron Howard alone, but yeah, I mean, I'm definitely interested in it just for that, but you know, opera and everything is really good, but I guess it depends on how interested you are in certain things. I mean, my girlfriend is very much sort of a musical history buff, so maybe she would like this, but if you're not, maybe this isn't up your alley. Maybe. Then over here I'm seeing they have the DVD digital of Shaft for $17.99 and the Blu-ray digital for $19.99. And on the DVD, they do have only a Target DVD with digital code. So if you're looking for the digital code for Shaft, then the DVD is the only place to get it, guys. Now, this movie is directed by Tim Story. Now, Tim Story is an alright director. I like Tim Story. I'm not in love with Tim Story. He done like the ride-along films, and he's done those 2 Fantastic Four movies, and like the barbershop stuff, and he's a good director. He's sort of like your average sort of, you know, hire him because he's going to get the job done type of director. He doesn't really bring something unique to the table. I do admit though that he brought a lot of fun elements to the movie. I like bringing in people like Richard Roundtree again. I like the action here. I like the sort of back and forth banter with Shaft and his son. But for some reason, man, like I said, that 2000 film, it felt more urban. It felt more grittier in some ways. It felt more like the old school Shaft films. This feels like a film that's trying to ape off of the Shaft stuff, whereas the 2000 film felt like it was actually like a Shaft movie. And I think that's because of John Singleton, man. John Singleton brought a lot to the table, whereas I feel like Tim Story, he wanted to tell a cool little urban tale with Shaft and how badass he is. And if it wasn't for Samuel Jackson, who really lifts up this movie, I don't know if it would be that at all. Samuel Jackson brings something to it that no one else can really do, and that's what makes this film unique. It's not really the directing by Tim Story at all. I prefer the one from the 2000, but it's still a good one, and it's still a cool one if you're a fan of Shaft for sure, guys. And then over here, I am seeing they have the DVD of A Score to Settle for $14.99, the Blu-ray for $12.99 right here. Ah, Nicolas Cage, baby. You know, it's kind of interesting because with Nicolas Cage, there's some really cool revenge movies that he's done. Like I think my favorite of his probably has to be Face Off. Face Off is really fantastic, man. And I heard actually that they're thinking of doing a remake of Face Off. Like I've heard rumors of that. I'm like, really? Okay, I mean, you can't beat the John Woo movie. I'm sorry, dude. You cannot beat it. And I feel like Nicolas Cage is sort of entering into a stage of his career where he's doing some really weird and unique and bizarre stuff like Mandy. And I think he's doing that movie that's coming out soon, The Color of Space, with Richard Stanley, which is really interesting. It looks really unique and bizarre and something I'm really interested in. I sort of like that Nicolas Cage is taking chances in his career again. Like he's not doing the like easy like money grab stuff. He's doing something more oddball and unique. And anytime he does that, I really do appreciate him. I mean, mind you, I like the good revenge, I'm gonna kill people Nicolas Cage, but I also like the more bizarre, weirdo, wacko Nicolas Cage, like the one in Mandy. So anytime you get a little bit more crazy Nicolas Cage, I definitely appreciate it, guys. Definitely let me know which Nicolas Cage you prefer. Then over here I'm seeing they have the Blu-ray, DVD, and digital of Yesterday for $24.99. They have the DVD for $19.99 right here. And this movie, talk about directors, this movie is directed by Danny Boyle. And I really love Danny Boyle. He's not like my ultra favorite director, but he's really high up there, man. I mean, Trainspotting 2, A Life Less Ordinary, Shallow Grave, 28 Days Later, Sunshine. Oh my God, dude, he is awesome as a director, and he really takes material that may not work and really turns it into something really unique and interesting. Like this, like you, on the surface, you say, okay, the Beatles are forgotten and this guy is taking his own spin on the Beatles songs and being famous, and you're like, how is that gonna work? That seems like a bizarre thing, and Danny Boyle makes it more humanizing, and he really makes it a really heartwarming and funny movie. And I feel like he can't do anything wrong, dude. Whether it's horror, like with Shallow Grave, which is a really great movie, A Life Less Ordinary, which is really awesome. Actually, A Life Less Ordinary is one of his more underrated ones. I like Slumdog Millionaire. I feel like he's one of those directors that you just love what he does. Whatever he does, I'm interested in seeing. I mean, I fell in love with him after I watched A Life Less Ordinary, because seeing Ewan McGregor and Cameron Diaz in that was awesome. And then years later, seeing Shallow Grave, and then seeing Trainspotting, and Trainspotting really, really fucked me up, man. It really did. It messed me up big time. But he's definitely a director I really appreciate, and I'm really glad that he took this on. I didn't even know that he directed until like shortly after I watched sort of like the trailer, and then I'm like, oh my God, that's Danny Boyle. He really is great, dude. He's honestly one of my, I would probably say he's one of my top 10 favorite directors. I honestly do. And I think again with movies like Yesterday, he really can do no wrong. He takes a silly idea and he turns it into something really cool. And Yesterday is no exception. Definitely let me know what you think of Danny Boyle, guys. Other than that, not bad selection over here. Some really cool titles. Let's see what else they got. All right, everybody, we're over in this section over here where they have some of the Disney stuff that came out this week. They have Sleeping Beauty, the anniversary edition for $24.99. They also have a only at Target Blu-ray, DVD, and digital, which includes a limited edition filmmaker gallery and storybook. Really nice. I'll kind of get up close there to show you guys. Huh. That actually looks really nice. Really nice right there. And that cover is really cool too. There's the cover right there and there's the other one. I actually kind of like this cover quite a bit. Huh, I like that cover, man. Really cool. Huh, really nice Target edition. And that's for $28.99. Now, what's really interesting now that I come to think about it is that when this movie was made long time back, it actually was at the time the most expensive Disney movie that they actually made at that point. And actually at first it wasn't even considered a commercial success at that point. It took a while to sort of for them to make their money back. But I mean, I look at something like Sleeping Beauty and I sort of remember back in the day, like Disney actually taking chances on films, like on animation and everything. There's not really much that Disney's really like taking a chance on anymore. I mean, a lot of it is just remakes and redos and, sequels. And I just, things like Sleeping Beauty or Cinderella, Snow White, Beauty and the Beast, Little Mermaid, I could continue to go on. They took chances on those because those were original material that they really worked on, and they made really fascinating and interesting characters. I can't say that they completely don't do that all the time, but it feels like they've kind of gotten away from it quite a bit. I mean, like I said, that's why I love these old school movies, because they remind me of a better time for Disney, kind of. I mean, that's just me. I mean, I think Disney is still powerful. They're still a great company. They make a lot of great material, but sometimes they kind of fall off the wagon a little bit. And I think back in the day, I think they were just better. I mean, that's just my opinion, guys. But definitely let me know what you think of Sleeping Beauty and of Disney in general. That's actually a really cool addition. Then what came out is they also have the 4K Ultra HD Blu-ray and digital of Maleficent for $29.99, and this is actually getting the 4K upgrade this week for Maleficent. I kind of almost forgot that they were doing it this week. And I actually did get to see Maleficent in the theater. I thought actually it was really good. I was almost prepared to not like it because I was like, okay, it's not a straight up live action adaptation of Sleeping Beauty, but it's taking the Maleficent character and sort of spinning her on her own adventure and sort of how she became evil and stuff like that. And I like this movie way more than I thought it was going to. I thought Angelina Jolie did a really fantastic job. I like sort of the fairy tale aspect of it. I thought it was going to be a little cringeworthy, or I thought they were going to maybe, I don't want to say overdo it on Maleficent, but there could have been a way that you could have done this where I think it would have been sort of the sniveling villain, or sort of the mustache twirling villain, and just turning it into that. I think they gave Maleficent a little bit more of a complicated history and a backstory and a past, and I thought Angelina pulled it off really well. And I know the sequel's coming out. The Mistress of Evil one looks really good. I'm definitely interested in seeing it, but I'm a little hesitant because the first one was way better than I thought it was going to be. So I'm a little bit hesitant on hopefully the sequel's going to deliver, because if it doesn't, then it's like, oh man, they just made a useless sequel for nothing. But honestly, like I said, I can't say this is a straight up live action remake, but it's a really great, different, unique take to do for a villain in one of these Disney animated movies. And I wish they'd do it more often. I really enjoyed this one quite a lot, guys. I thought this was really good. Definitely let me know what you think of Maleficent. And then over here I'm seeing they have the Blu-ray, DVD, and digital of 101 Dalmatians for $24.99. They also have the Blu-ray, DVD, and digital only at Target exclusive, which comes with a limited edition storybook. And I'll kind of show you what it looks like there. Huh. Yeah, pictures and articles, everything, not bad. And that is for $28.99. And I actually like the art here quite a bit. It's slightly different. You can see Cruella is still pretty much the same almost, but the dogs are a little bit different here. I like the red cover too. Red cover makes the Dalmatian stand out. I actually like that one quite a bit, man. It's not bad. Huh. And you know what, I've said how much I really like 101 Dalmatians, and it really, was part of my love of loving dogs. And I know that they've done some like live action stuff in the past. Like they did that live action remake long time back with that chick who played Cruella de Vil. Now I'm really blanking on her name now. She did a great job as Cruella de Vil. I thought she did a great job here. I think Jeff Daniels is in it as well. I thought that was a way better adaptation than I thought it was going to be. But then again, I think that came out when I was a kid. So that's kind of like rose-colored glasses. I kind of remember that, and I liked it quite a bit. Oh, Glenn Close. Duh. Now I'm thinking about it. Glenn Close playing Cruella de Vil. She did a great job, by the way. I think the live action remake was good. It was at a time when they were really doing a lot of dog stuff like Beethoven and certain movies like that and capitalizing on certain films. I do like that remake. I know actually they are doing another live action remake. And I saw some pictures of it. That chick from Zombieland is actually playing Cruella de Vil. And I was like, really? That's really fascinating and interesting. I don't know how I'm going to think about that movie because I love the live action remake so much, so I'm hoping it succeeds, but at the end of the day, they're just making another live action remake for making it. That's what Disney does anyways, but yeah, I mean overall, I love the animation one. I love the other live action one, and hopefully maybe the future live action one is actually good as well. It's 101 Dalmatians. How much can you really screw it up? Well, okay, you can really screw it up, but still. Not bad. Not bad here overall, guys, for some of the cool Disney stuff and the cool exclusives, for sure. Not half bad. Alright, let's see what else they got. Alright guys, we are over in this section, which has a couple of the TV shows that came out this week. We've got the complete fourth season of DC's Legends of Tomorrow for $19.99, the Blu-ray digital for $22.99. Now, what really fascinated me about looking at the trailer for DC's Legends of Tomorrow was the fact that Constantine is in here. And I know Constantine had that one season run and then it got canceled, which really sucked because I was hoping maybe they would continue with it, but they didn't. I guess maybe low ratings or something, but I'm really glad they brought him on board to the CW and the same actor, by the way, which is really great. Because I really always loved Constantine, man. I really have. I mean, that Keanu Reeves movie I think is really underrated. I've read a few of the comic books, which I think are really cool. I've always loved his powers. I loved how he could go to hell, to the other side, and battle demons. And I've always thought he was a really dynamic character that isn't used really well sometimes in movies or TV. So I'm hoping that maybe they used him really well here. And from what I heard, review-wise, I actually heard that basically the best part about season 4 is Constantine. That's from what people I've heard through the internet and everything. That's what I've heard. Definitely let me know what you guys think. Hopefully he's going to continue with the DC's Legends of Tomorrow crew. That's what I'm hoping, because when I was watching that trailer, I was like, dude, just for Constantine alone, I would at least give it a chance, because again, man, I don't think we're gonna see Constantine on the big screen anytime soon again. I have a feeling, and as far as his own TV show, I kind of feel like maybe they kind of burnt that bridge a little bit. So maybe teaming him up with another part of the team or something like DC's Legends of Tomorrow works. I know some people have said maybe they do like Justice League Dark, which would be cool. I would love to see Justice League Dark, but I think that's right now kind of a pipe dream at the moment. So maybe just put him in here and see what happens. Like I said, people have told me he's the best thing about it, and I would definitely be interested in seeing John Constantine again. Even in a Legends of Tomorrow show, from what I hear, he does a really good job. Definitely let me know, guys. Then over here, I see the DVD of American Horror Story. Oh, American Horror Story Apocalypse for $22.99. Now, here's the interesting thing about it, okay? Like I said, I've watched bits and pieces of the other shows. I watched some of the Mental Asylum season, which wasn't bad. Bob sort of told me that it kind of went off the rails as the show went on. I saw some of the Carnival season, and I really actually was more interested in the Carnival season because I'm a huge fan of that old school movie Freaks. So I really was very interested to see that, and I thought for the most part they did a good job. I didn't watch it all, but some people said it kind of faltered towards the end of the season. I watched some of Coven, and Coven was really good. However, I did watch the end of Coven, and I thought they kind of dropped the ball on Coven a little bit. I kind of think they do, man. I mean, that, and I saw some of the season where Lady Gaga was a vampire. And the first few episodes weren't bad, but I heard that kind of sort of went off the rails too a little bit. It kind of feels like American Horror Story like starts off really strong, and then after a while it kind of like goes off the rails a little bit. You know, I mean, I give them a lot of credit because I like some of the bold ideas that they do, and I like how they sort of mash up genres and bring in some of these great actors. Like Kathy Bates is here, and a lot of really great people that they've got on board over the years for these seasons. And when I heard about American Horror Story Apocalypse, I was like, okay, that's interesting. They're combining Coven with Murder House. I like both of them. Like I said, I've heard mixed results. That's what I've heard. I've heard some people really thought it was really dynamic, and they liked the whole like going into the Antichrist thing, and they thought that it was a great way to go for the season. Other people have said that they didn't go far enough with it. American Horror Story is tricky, man. I feel like they hype it up a lot of times, and then the hype doesn't always, like, once you watch it, it doesn't live up to the hype, I should say. That's what I think. I mean, again, I appreciate Ryan Murphy's attempts at horror. I think he seems to be a really great sort of producer and writer, and really tries to do some unique and interesting things. Doesn't always work, but at least he tries, man. I mean, definitely let me know what you think of American Horror Story Apocalypse, but again, just for like the Antichrist stuff alone, because I'm big into like the Omen stuff, so that kind of intrigued me. But again, I'm kind of waiting for what you guys tell me, so definitely let me know, guys. Other than that, that does it for this area. Not bad so far. All right, let's see if there's anything else. All right, everybody, we're over in this section over here, and they have these Star Wars Blu-rays and DVDs that came out a couple days ago. I'm just seeing them right now. They have the Blu-ray digital of Revenge of the Sith right here with that new cover art. That's nice cover art. That's not bad. With that new cover art for $22.99. They have Attack of the Clones right here. Not bad art right there. Huh. Badass Yoda. Nice. For $22.99 as well. The Phantom Menace right here. Huh, it's not a bad cover either. $22.99. They have a New Hope right here. Huh. It's pretty cool. That's not bad either. They also have Empire Strikes Back. Oh, nice. They don't have Return of the Jedi. That might have sold out, or they might not have gotten any in. They also have The Force Awakens right here. Oh, that's nice. Look at that. That's really cool. They got that. They have them in Rogue One as well. Look at that. That's a really cool one for Rogue One. I like that one quite a bit. They got that. They have Solo, a Star Wars story. Surprised they did one for Solo, a Star Wars story. Huh. Got that. They also have a couple of the DVDs here, Solo, a Star Wars story, and The Last Jedi, both for $19.99. And they also have the Blu-ray digital of Star Wars The Last Jedi as well here. Oh, very interesting. Now, I know that these are like new editions that just came out. I don't know if there's anything really new here except that there's like new artwork on here. That's about all I'm pretty positive about at this point. You know, what's really interesting about these actual releases right here is that, you know, I was talking to my buddy John, and he was saying to me about these releases. He's like, it didn't really interest him, these new releases, because outside of the new art, there's really nothing else that they really offer here. And not only do they not really offer anything, but apparently from what I hear, guys, just a rumor, that next year at some point, there's no like specifications right now, there's no like actual details, but I've heard a rumor that all of the movies are going to be in this like huge like big movie set kind of thing, and they're releasing like the original versions of the original Star Wars movies. Right now they're just rumors. Nothing's really, you know, like definitive or positive at this point, like no like, you know, like official news. But these editions are cool, and if you don't have any of these movies, then maybe pick them up. But I would wait until the next big like box set comes out, and that way you can get all the movies together and maybe some cool new special features on top of that. I mean, the artwork isn't bad here. I mean, the artwork is actually pretty cool. Not bad at all, really. I like the artwork. Like stuff like Revenge of the Sith is really cool here. I like the Attack of the Clones stuff. It's really cool. I like sort of the different sort of hues of color there. I especially like the Rogue One cover. I really like that one quite a bit. Honestly, I mean, I've slightly given you my thoughts before on the movies, but I really do like Revenge of the Sith. I think out of all of the prequels, I think Revenge of the Sith is probably the best one. I love Ewan McGregor here. I think Hayden Christensen does a pretty decent job. The epic lightsaber fight with Anakin and Obi-Wan is really great. I think overall it's a really good film, and that opening sequence with the spaceships is really awesome. It's probably the best of the prequel trilogy in my opinion, but that's just my own thoughts, guys. Attack of the Clones, you know, I've heard a lot of people crap on Attack of the Clones. I really have, and I get it. It's probably maybe the weakest of all of the prequels, but I really enjoy it. Yes, I understand Hayden Christensen is really bad in the movie, and the whole like, I hate sand. It's coarse and rough, and it gets everywhere. Like I get it. Trust me, guys. Trust me, I do. But I like the whole like lightsaber fights. Ewan McGregor is still awesome here. I like Count Dooku, and I really like the Yoda fight. There's certain things in here I really do like, man. I mean, it ain't the best, put it that way, but I tend to enjoy it. And I like that. The Phantom Menace. I saw The Phantom Menace in the movie theaters in 1999, baby. I saw it, man. I remember the hype for this thing, and the hype was real, let me tell you, man. And honestly, I think the movie, I remember getting out of the movie, and I remember everybody trying to convince themselves that the movie was good. Like, they just got out of that Darth Maul fight, and everyone was like, oh my god, the movie's awesome. And I think over time, people really started to like get that whole phase of grief and anger and everything about like how not good this movie is, and how much they really hated Jar Jar. And I think looking back on the movie now, I like it more than I did then. The pod race stuff is cool. Liam Neeson is great in it. Darth Maul's badass. You know, I still like Ewan McGregor here. Jake Lloyd, well, yeah, I just deal with it. But I mean, it's not terrible. I've come to appreciate it over the years more than I used to, put it that way. And then of course you have Star Wars A New Hope, which is a really awesome movie, classic. I really love this movie so much, man. I think it's like my first experience ever watching Star Wars was Star Wars A New Hope, not in the theater, but just at home, and just loving sort of the aliens and Luke's story and Obi-Wan, and I thought it was brilliant, man. I really did. It's still a fantastic movie to this day, man. Of course, Empire Strikes Back is one of the best in the series. I love it so goddamn much, man. The whole, like, confrontation between Darth Vader and Luke, Boba Fett, going to see Yoda, that whole stuff. I really like it, man. That whole, like, Hoth planet fight is so awesome still, man, with those, like, huge, walkers. Ah, dude, it's really great, man. This is still like one of the high points of Star Wars, in my opinion, dude. I love it, and that cover is pretty cool, actually. Rogue One, I will admit, at first, when I first watched Rogue One, I didn't really like Rogue One. I remember getting out of the theater, and I'm like, this was really underwhelming, man. I didn't really like it. And what happened was about, I don't know, maybe 6 months ago or something like that, or maybe a year ago, my girlfriend was turning on the TV and Rogue One was playing. And we were watching like the whole third act of Rogue One. And I was thinking to myself, wow, this is actually a lot better than I remember it being. And, we watched the whole third act and I'm like, wow, I really have to revisit it. And then I went back and revisited the movie and I really enjoyed it. I thought, well, this is actually way better than, I definitely ever gave it credit for. And yeah, I do like it, man. The whole, like, K2SO stuff and Jyn Erso and the whole, like, getting the plans for the Death Star. I think it's much better than people give it credit for at times. And look, that Darth Vader end thing there at the end of the movie where he's like, like killing all those guards, dude, that's badass. And he's pretty cool in the movie too. That's actually, it's way better than people give it credit for. Now with Solo, I think Solo is actually very underrated. I honestly do. I think Solo is vastly underrated. I think it's way better than people give it credit for. I remember, a lot of people really didn't like The Last Jedi, so I think they went into this movie only 6 months after the release of that, really still, like, not liking that and not having a good taste in their mouth, and they went into Solo either not really even wanting to see it or just having a bad taste in their mouth and just was going to hate on it regardless. But you want to know what, though, man? I really do enjoy this one. I think the guy who plays Han, I think, did a great job. I like the bounty hunter stuff. I really like his whole story of him sort of becoming the man that he was going to be. I like Lando. I think it's a good one that I think is going to get appreciated more over time. And I really do love the end stuff with a certain character that comes back, which I thought was actually really clever and I did not see coming at all. And I definitely would love to see them do more with that character in the future if they ever do. But better than I thought it was going to be. And definitely one I think people kind of were not going to like or wanting to not like. And I think it actually came out better than I thought, honestly. Then, yes, the elephant in the room, The Last Jedi. Oh, man. Guys, I'm not going to lie, man. I have grown to not like this movie quite a bit. I'm not saying it's a terrible movie, but I got to admit, man, this movie really just took Star Wars in a really bad direction. There's a lot of people that I still talk to, and anytime you bring up The Last Jedi, you can just see their face changing. Like they were calm, and then suddenly, like, they start to turn red, kind of like this cover, and they just start ranting, man. You have no idea how many people I've talked to that just start ranting and just ready to, like, rip this movie a new asshole. I get it, man. This movie is not great. They really screwed up a lot of stuff with this movie, man. I mean, I don't want to get into it too much, but all I know is that I have faith in J.J. Abrams for what he's going to do with The Rise of Skywalker, but he's got to fix a lot of stuff from The Last Jedi because Rian Johnson took this in a direction where I don't think it should have gone, and I think it's hurt the franchise, be honest with you. It's not a terrible movie by any means, but it's certainly, I think, for me, one of the least Star Wars films, in my honest opinion, guys. That's just me. I mean, like I said, I'm looking forward to The Rise of Skywalker. I'm looking forward to even the Disney Plus shows, because I know they're doing one on Obi-Wan, which I'm really looking forward to, because I love Ewan McGregor, and the fact that he's coming back is awesome. I know they're doing stuff with the Rebellion stuff and everything from Rogue One. I know they're doing that as well. I'm kind of interested in what they do with the Disney Plus stuff and where sort of The Rise of Skywalker is going to go. And hopefully, maybe next year we may see that huge Star Wars box set that is rumored to be. Until then, they have new covers and new Blu-ray editions of the Star Wars films. So if you haven't picked it up yet, definitely come to Target and get it. All right, guys, that does it for Target. Not bad here this week. All right, let's head out. Not too bad at Target this week, guys. I told you that when there's a big release week, Target has a lot of stuff to show off, and this week is definitely no exception. We got the new releases, we got the TV stuff, we got some really cool exclusives for those Disney titles, Sleeping Beauty and 101 Dalmatians, which is really cool that they have that there, plus those Star Wars Blu-ray releases, which I didn't really think we would see this week at any of the stores, but thankfully Target definitely had them. So there was a lot of stuff to show off this week, and not half bad. Target definitely delivered for sure. Alright, well, let's head to the third and final location and see what goodies we'll find there. Blu-rays, DVDs, and 4Ks. Oh my, man. This week we are seeing quite a bit of releases at every store. Some great variety, selection, some interesting titles between all the places. But could the best be saved for last? Well, we're about to find out when we go to the Beast, Best Buy, baby. So, you know, we've seen some exclusives, we've seen some really great selection and releases at both of the places. Best Buy usually delivers. They're usually really good with their selection, and they usually have some surprises that I'm never really expecting. So let's go into Best Buy and see what we'll find. Maybe some surprises, exclusives, and a hell of a lot of great releases. Let's head in. Alright, everybody, we are in the new release section of Best Buy, and the first thing I'm seeing is they have the Blu-ray digital of the complete fourth season of DC's Legends of Tomorrow for $22.99. Now, I'm kind of curious to you guys, if you were a gambling man, which CW show is going to die off first after Arrow? Because I just don't see DC Legends of Tomorrow really surviving for much longer. You know, all the reviews that I heard online were not very positive. They felt like the show's kind of cheap and that the characters have gotten a little goofy and, you know, they're not really going out of their way to really, like, spend the money on the show. I mean, I've always felt like something like The Flash is going to last for quite a while because The Flash is very popular and there's a lot to do with those characters on The Flash. I always thought that Supergirl is something that, even though she's not as popular as Superman, I always felt that maybe there's a lot more to do with her, and I feel that she can be a really great leading lady. With something like DC's Legends of Tomorrow, there's certain characters that seem to me to really stand out, and there's other characters that feel like they're kind of wasted and put in the background. And I feel like sometimes, from what I've gathered from opinions, that they don't know what to do with the show at times. That's kind of the gist I'm getting. I mean, I know they're doing that huge crossover event with all of the shows, including Arrow, and it's gonna be really, from what I gather, huge. A lot of people from previous, like, DC comic book movies and everything are coming over to do the crossover and other previous TV shows, and it's supposed to be this massive mega event. And will that help save some of these shows? Maybe. I kind of like the fact that a lot of these shows really do this huge crossover event, because I've always loved, like, special crossover episodes, and this one, from what I hear, is going to be spectacular. But what happens after Arrow's gone? I mean, like I said, I've always asked you guys, who's going to really step up and be the next major show after Arrow, because Arrow always led the way. So now that Arrow's going, what's really next? Who's going to take the mantle? I just don't think DC's Legends of Tomorrow is going to do it. But that's honestly just my opinion, guys. I mean, like I said, the trailer looked good. And I thought it looked like a really weird, messed up, like Grimm's fairy tale gone wrong. But then again, I haven't really been following the show. So I don't know if that's like a good thing or a bad thing. I mean, definitely let me know overall where you think DC Legends of Tomorrow is headed. Do you think it's headed in a good direction with the next season, or do you feel like maybe they should end it while they're kind of ahead? I mean, definitely let me know. I like a lot of DC stuff, but some of these CW shows, I'm just not sure, honestly, guys. I'm really not, but definitely give me your opinion, guys. You've got 2 all-new featurettes, unaired scenes, and gag reel. Not a lot of stuff. I've seen some CW season boxes have a lot more, but yeah, I mean, DC Legends of Tomorrow, like I said, it looked interesting, but I'm sort of on the outside looking in, so I don't really know what's exactly going on. So definitely let me know, guys. Then over here, I'm seeing the Blu-ray digital of The Tracker with my man Dolph for $14.99. And I'm really curious on what your guys' opinions of Dolph Lundgren is, just in general, because I feel like Dolph is a really great action leading man that, to me, doesn't get the kind of love that he deserves. I know people like Jean-Claude Van Damme get more, and Steven Seagal kind of gets more love, and it always... Really, they get more love. I mean, come on. I think he's vastly underrated. I mean, whether you look at that Rocky movie he was in, whether you look at The Punisher is a great movie. I think that's probably my favorite Punisher movie of all time. I love that movie. I thought he was the best part of the Expendables films. You know, he's somebody that hasn't gotten the chances of stardom that I think other people did. I mean, yeah, he does certain movies, like he does that really stupid Kindergarten Cop 2, which is like, really? Dude, like, you're a good actor, man. You don't need that garbage, picking up where Schwarzenegger left off crap. You don't need that, dude. I just wish he would get more opportunities. I mean, he got a great opportunity in Aquaman, and I can't wait to see him again in Aquaman 2. I just feel like he's somebody who people consider him sort of the bottom barrel, Schwarzenegger or Stallone, and I think he's so much better than that, man. He really does. And hopefully movies like this sort of really shine through. I'm hoping. I mean, the plot doesn't light the world on fire, but then again, I love Dolph as an actor, and I just love... He's not the best actor in the world. He's not even... I mean, he's just average, I guess. But, I mean... I still really, really enjoy him, honestly. I really do. I mean, he's way better than Van Damme and Seagal. I mean, come on. I think he's sort of the bottom tier of where... Well, not really the bottom tier. Sort of the second tier of where Schwarzenegger and Stallone is. And then just behind that, I think there's other ones there that sort of are just on the peak, but not quite there. And I think Lundgren is there. Definitely let me know what you guys think. Then I'm also seeing over here they have the Blu-ray, DVD, and digital of Shaft for $22.99. They also have this only at Best Buy exclusive 4K Blu-ray that has this sort of artwork. So it's a little bit different. It's a little more like orangey tinged or something. I mean, it's just a slipcover, and on the inside, I think it has the same artwork as well. Yeah, the same artwork too. Yeah, very, very interesting. Just not really a steelbook, just different artwork in general, just slightly altered. Very interesting. I don't know which one I like more. I think I kind of like this one more. I don't know. I think this kind of stands out with the orangish and red a little bit. Interesting. I don't think we've seen that in quite a while. We've seen exclusive slipcovers and everything, but not for one of the major new releases. Usually it's a steelbook, but interestingly enough, as I said, I think this movie is made because of Samuel Jackson. Samuel Jackson makes this movie. I mean, regardless of what you think about the dude, he is one badass mofo. He is the perfect person for Shaft. And it's kind of interesting because I was looking up some info about the Shaft movie from 2000. John Singleton originally wanted Don Cheadle, and he couldn't get Don Cheadle, and then they were thinking about Wesley Snipes. And apparently one of the producers, thinking about box office and everything, thought, well, we might as well go with Samuel L. Jackson. I think that's a great decision. I honestly can't see Don Cheadle doing it. Or, I mean, Wesley Snipes I could see, but that was back in the day. I don't think he could do it now. You know, but honestly, with Samuel Jackson, he's been a badass for years, dude, decades. I remember seeing him in Do the Right Thing as sort of the DJ, and he was really great in that, man. He was awesome as the DJ, and then I thought he was awesome there. And he's been in so many great stuff, man. 187, Pulp Fiction. I didn't even know this. He has a small role in The Exorcist 3. I didn't even know he did. That's kind of weird that out of The Exorcist 3, he has a small role. It's weird. As that, Jungle Fever, he was great in. You know, of course, he's great as Nick Fury and all those movies. You know, the Tarantino stuff he's done. He's just a really great, solid actor who, I think when you get Samuel L. Jackson in the right role, he really shines. And I think for this role, he really shines as Shaft. The movie itself, I think the movie itself is a little bit dull at times. I mean, it's great to see Richard Roundtree in here. It's great to have an ode to the original Shaft. And those original Shaft movies, they may not be the greatest, but I kind of like their cheeseball sort of blaxploitation style aesthetic that those movies had. And I feel like they're trying to go for that. I think they did it better in the 2000 film, but I think what makes this movie, and I've said it before, is Samuel L. Jackson. He electrifies the screen. You want to see him as Shaft. And what was really weird to me was that after the 2000 film, we didn't get another one until 2019. I heard that they were trying to make another Shaft movie, that they went through scripts and directors and everything, and they just couldn't get it made. And now we finally have this. I mean, is Samuel Jackson getting too old to play these type of roles? Is he starting to pull a Liam Neeson? Can he really pull off the action? I think he still can, but I think he's getting to an age where he might want to reconsider certain roles. Like, Shaft is still cool, but outside of that, he can't really do the action like he used to. He can still pull it off, but he's getting there to a certain point where no longer, man. Definitely let me know what you think of Samuel Jackson as Shaft. What do you think of Samuel L. Jackson in general? And do you think anybody else could have done it better than Samuel Jackson? Definitely let me know, guys. As far as the special features are concerned, wow, there's no special features here. Holy crap. There really is no special features here. Is there any special features on the Blu-ray DVD? Oh, there is. Wait a minute. So why is there not anything on the Best Buy? Dude, there's nothing on the Best Buy exclusive 4K Blu-ray. Yo, that's weird. You've got Can You Dig It? The Making of Shaft, A Complicated Man, The Shaft Legacy, Part 1, A Bad Mother Born, Part 2, No Questions Asked, Part 3, A Legend in His Time, Deleted Scenes, and Gag Reel. A lot of great special features here, and again, not a bad movie, just going with slightly lower expectations, because it's not the Shaft that you remember, but it's still a really good, effective film though. And again, what makes this movie is Samuel Jackson being a bad mother. Shut your mouth! Then the other thing over here I'm seeing is they have the DVD of Child's Play 2019 for $14.99 and the Blu-ray digital for $19.99. You know, oh God, I can't defend this thing. I'm sorry, dude. I wanted to say something nice and I can't do it. It's bad. I'm kind of curious to you guys, what are some of your worst horror remakes that you've ever seen before? Because this is pretty bad, dude. It's really lifeless. It's really stupid. And they kind of opened the door for a sequel, which, please, let me not suffer and have to deal with a sequel, please. But I think some of the worst ones to me, that Nightmare on Elm Street remake, dude, is pretty rough, man. That basically angered me to the point of I almost wanted to kill somebody. The Friday the 13th remake, it's okay. It's not great. That Leprechaun remake is pretty bad. The Stepfather remake is horrible. There's a lot of bad remakes, dude. There really is. There's a lot of ones that are really in the shitter. I mean, even the Rob Zombie Halloween one, which I really didn't care for, but that's a lot better than some of the other stuff that's come out. I mean, the Texas Chainsaw Massacre remake was really good with Jessica Biel. I think it depends on how you approach the material. Like with this, they went more with like him being technology wise and him able to like control your smart devices and everything, and how that's really, oh my God, that's terrifying. He can control our devices in our home, and it wasn't scary. Like there's something about, you know, a doll being possessed that is really creepy to me. And here, all it was his chip being malfunctioned and he goes on a rampage. That's not scary to me. I'll just unplug him from the wall. I mean, I don't know, dude. I mean, to me, you really need to do better with these horror remakes. And I feel like in a lot of ways, they're not learning the lesson, because you have to do better, dude. You really do. I mean, and horror remakes are not going to stop anytime soon. We're going to get more of them, dude. And I just hope filmmakers learn that just because you want to update it for a modern time doesn't mean you should. You know what I mean? That's what I feel like. You need to be very picky about your projects, and I feel like this is just one of those ones where they had the property, they were like, hey, dolls are popular, let's make it. And you know what? Honestly, this was not good, guys. It really wasn't. It's not a dumpster fire, but it's one of those really needless ones where I just sit there and be like, I could care less, man. I'll take Child's Play 1, 2, 3, Bride of Chucky, Seed of Chucky, and Seed of Chucky is my least favorite of all of them, but I'll take some of those ones over this by far. Yeah, this was not good, man. I mean, if you liked it, fair enough, but I really felt like this movie was really lacking in the horror, lacking in the scares, lacking in a really creative, like, killer doll. I mean, when Full Moon Entertainment does better killer dolls, that says something, you know what I mean? You have an audio commentary here? Shit. The Making of Child's Play, Bringing Child's Play, Chucky to Life, Gallery, that trailer. Damn, there is more special features here than some other releases. Really? Okay. I would say watch the other Child's Play movies, guys, honestly. Chucky is great. And no offense to Mark Hamill. Mark Hamill is awesome, but Brad Dourif is the shit. And he is awesome as Chucky, and he will never be replaced anytime soon. Just my opinion, guys. Definitely let me know what you think of horror remakes. Good, bad, let me know. And not bad selection so far here. Let's see what else they got. Alright guys, so smack dab in between the new releases on both sides, we have yesterday right here. The Blu-ray, DVD, and digital for $22.99. The 4K Ultra HD Blu-ray and digital for $27.99. And I had a question, and I was really curious about what you guys thought about this. Do you think that the Beatles music would still be as popular today as it was back in the day? Now, before you say yes, I'm actually saying, would the music still be popular if it just got released today? Like, you had never heard it before, it never got released before, it's brand new, it just came out from this guy, the same type of, lyrics and the melodies and everything. Would it still be as popular and catchy today versus back in the day? I don't know if it would, guys, and I'm honestly serious about that. I think the way we value music has changed. I think the way that our culture has changed over time. I don't know whether this music would resonate the way that it used to. maybe I'm wrong. I just don't feel that it would, guys. I really don't. I mean, and it's really fascinating because in the movie, you have these sort of corporate executives who are trying to sort of change the music and change the image and change how he wants to do things. And I think just our corporate culture has changed, and I think these songs and this music wouldn't really resonate as much as it would otherwise. I mean, that's just how I feel. I mean, I think some songs would really hit big, but I feel like the music industry and I feel like all the corporate greed and everything would really turn this person of Jack Malik and turn these songs and just twist them in a really dark way. Because there was something pure about back in the day with the Beatles, and I loved the Beatles, but I just don't know if the Beatles would really resonate if they were a newer band now versus back in the day. I just don't know whether it would, guys. I mean, maybe I'm wrong. I still think the music is awesome. I think the music is awesome for the time that it was made, and how I think some of those times have come back around, and how some of the messages still resonate. But I think it resonates because of the time that it came out and how it still influences stuff today. But if it was just coming out now, that's tough to say, man. It's tough to say if it would really catch fire as much as it did back then. You know, again, you had the Fab 4, my bad. You had the Fab 4, and you had a certain time in America where, you know, people coming over from the UK and people were really interested in that and interested in like this like new style of rock and roll, and it was a different time, and I don't know whether it would really be that way now. I mean, definitely let me know what you think, guys. I mean, like I said, I always loved the Beatles and I always loved the music, and it's really interesting to see how they took those songs and really, you know, made them similar but yet made it their own as well. It's a really fascinating what-if tale, which you rarely see, and I thought it was so well done, and it really brings up a lot of interesting questions about music nowadays, the music industry, how the culture has changed, and how this music really does affect people's lives, and when it goes, then you lose a certain you lose a certain slice of culture that you can never get back, and how those songs really bring a new value to life. That's just what I think, guys. Definitely let me know what you guys think of Yesterday. But you get actually quite a bit. You get alternate ending, deleted scenes, more Beatles music performed by Himesh Patel, and he actually did a pretty good job, to be honest with you. You had Ed Sheeran, Agent of Comedy, Kate McKinnon, live at Abbey Road Studios, and more. Not bad special features, man, and well worth checking out. Alright, well, not bad little middle section here. Let's see what else they got. Alright, we are over on the other side of the new release section, and the first thing I'm seeing over here is they have the Blu-ray, DVD, and digital of 101 Dalmatians for $24.99. They also have an only at Best Buy limited edition collectible steelbook, Blu-ray, DVD, and digital for $29.99. And that's not a bad steelbook. It's not bad. Very different from this art here. I actually might like the Target exclusive a little bit better. I might, just a tad bit better, guys. I might like that one, but it's not a bad steelbook though. And I'm actually kind of curious, because do you think that it's the last time that some of these movies are gonna be like on physical media, like the last time we'll ever see them? And the reason why I say that is because now with Disney Plus service really coming within the next couple months, a lot of these titles are going to be on the streaming service, so there's really no need for the physical media copy. I mean, there's always need for physical media, let me put it that way, but I think for Disney, is it worth it for Disney to put out all these releases? I'm kind of curious what you guys think about that. I really am. Over here, I'm also seeing they have the Blu-ray, DVD, and digital of Sleeping Beauty, the Anniversary Edition for $24.99. They also have the Best Buy Blu-ray, DVD, digital limited edition collectible steelbook for $29.99. And that's actually not a bad steelbook either. That's pretty nice. I kind of like the design of that. Very different from this art right here. But I'm not going to lie, though. I kind of like the Target exclusive a little bit better. I kind of do. Interesting as well. Because, you know, my thing about it is I'm always telling you guys with your kids to always show them the classics, because the classics never go out of style. And I'm always saying that you really need to invest in the classics, because as much as we do remakes and as much as we do all that newer animation stuff, it's the old school classics that will never go out of style. At least that's my own opinion, guys. But I am curious about if you think a lot of these physical media stuff will go away, because somebody was talking to me about, sort of one of the comments was talking to me about these physical media releases, like the steelbooks and the collector's editions, and they said, well, as long as Disney lowers the price, then, you know, then people will want to buy them. But I think that's the problem, because I don't think Disney is ever interested in lowering the price for these. Number one, the effort that it takes to put into this stuff, the manufacturing of it, I don't think they would ever really lower the price. I mean, when was the last time that you've really seen one of these, like, classic Disney stuff, you know, really go down in price? I mean, when was the last time? Because it's been quite a while, man. I mean, you look at something like these exclusive steelbooks, which they're really nice, and they're really, like, well designed, and, you know, they look nice, but they're $34.99, and honestly, they're not moving. These are not moving off of the shelves whatsoever. There's a lot of copies, man. There really honestly is. And they would move if they lowered the price, but they're not lowering the price. And I think that's the problem. I think the problem is like, you need to lower this to like $19.99. You need to get it down, because I don't think Disney well, I just don't think Disney cares about, like, lowering the price of things. Because they're like, if you love the movie, hell, you're either going to buy the 4K or the Blu-ray, or you're just going to buy Disney Plus and stream it there. Either way, we win. That's it, man. I like Disney a lot, but it feels like they're really taking their customers for a ride right now. And I'm wondering, as much as I love the movies, I'm wondering, when will the customers really start to wake up, I guess, is really when they say Disney really needs to wisen up and be smarter, and we're going to take our business elsewhere. I wonder when that's going to happen, but I just don't think it's going to happen anytime soon, guys, honestly. Then the other thing over here I'm seeing is they have the 4K Ultra HD Blu-ray digital of Maleficent for $29.99, and they also have a 4K Ultra HD Blu-ray and digital only at Best Buy Steelbook for Maleficent right here. And I really like this cover, man. I really do. Very creepy and ominous look for Angelina Jolie there. And on the inside there, I'm going to show you that. Not bad at all, man, and quite different from that cover right there. Now, you know what? I wish they would do this more with their Disney remakes. Instead of actually doing a remake of something like Sleeping Beauty, do sort of a different take on a live-action tale. Do one solely on the villain, and sort of humanize the villain and make the villain, you know, a very more in-depth character. That's what I really would have loved to seen in a lot of these live-action remakes. Because the live-action remakes, they're not terrible, but I feel like, you know, if you've seen the animated movie, you've seen the actual live-action film. That's what you've seen. So what I really like is the fact of, like, doing it from a different perspective and showing that, and really doing something unique and interesting. And that's why I really like Maleficent a lot, because it's not a live-action remake, but it takes a character and really spins it into some really unique story. And those are the kind of tales that I think Disney should be doing, not these live-action ones. Then again, these live-action ones make a hell of a lot of money, so Guess I'm in the minority, guys, but I really think they honestly should, in my opinion. Do something more creative and imaginative. Don't do the same old cookie cutter thing. I just wish Disney would do that, dude, honestly. That being said, not a bad steelbook at all, and I am looking forward to the sequel. I just hope the sequel's good, because sometimes doing a Disney sequel isn't always good. There's not a lot of great Disney sequels. There's some, but a lot of them have gone straight to like VHS or DVD, and that's not to mean that they're bad. It just means that they're not as good quality as the original. So I'm hoping this live action one kind of bucks the trend, but we'll see. You've got a lot of special features here. Deleted scenes, building an epic battle, classic couture, Maleficent revealed, becoming a beauty. Interesting special features for that. You also have, for Sleeping Beauty over here, in Walt's words, fun facts, picture perfect, deleted scenes, more. Interesting, not bad special features there. And for the 101 Dalmatians one, you have, in Walt's words, 101 Dalmatians, the further adventures of Thunderbolt, and plus classic bonus features as well. Interesting. Like I said, I really like Disney, and I like seeing a lot of these cool releases, but I just wonder how much more longer we're actually going to have this stuff on the shelves, guys. When is Disney going to say, screw you guys, we're just going to do it through Disney Plus? It may be sometime soon. I think it's going to be within about 5 or 10 years' time. That's my sort of guess, as I told you guys before in the previous video. But in the meantime, if you guys love these movies, get up on it, because it might be the last time you will ever see them. Alright, well, not bad so far. Let's see what else Best Buy's got. Alright everybody, we are over in this section of Best Buy, and the first thing I'm seeing over here is they have the Blu-ray DVD and digital of Anna for $14.99, the 4K Blu-ray and digital for $19.99, and you know, it's really interesting talking about action movies nowadays, because as much as I love sort of those old school action movies, what really I think revived the genre in a lot of ways was the first John Wick. I think the first John Wick really opened the floodgates for a lot of these really great action movies to come since. I really do. Especially even when, you know, now that I'm thinking about it, with John Wick, there was a lot of great female, like, assassins in the movie, and that really spun into a lot of really cool, like, kick-ass female assassin movies, like Atomic Blonde I was thinking of, which is a really great one with Charlize Theron. I'm thinking about Red Sparrow over here, which is really a great one. I think Jennifer Lawrence did an awesome job with that. I'm thinking of like Peppermint as well, and there's a lot of really great ones out there. And it's kind of interesting because a lot of these sort of action movies with these kick-ass female leads, they're kind of paving the way for the new generation, like this chick. You know, every generation paves the way for the next, and it's kind of cool to see these new actresses coming up and kicking ass. And you know, I see stuff like the old school stuff like La Femme Nikita, or I see, you know, stuff with like Sigourney Weaver and everything, and I'm like, that paved the way for who we're seeing now. And then people like Charlize Theron and everyone, they're paving the way for future generations. And it's just kind of paying it forward, I think, at this point. Is Anna one of the better action movies? Well, better female kick-ass action movies? That's really tough to say. I think it's more up to you guys. I don't know if it compares to Atomic Blonde, which I think is way better. I think something like Red Sparrow is really good as well. This is good. I don't think it beats something like La Femme Nikita or even Leon the Professional. I think the reason why those are so good to me is I think I care about the characters and the story. The story here is very sort of messed up, very convoluted and complicated, and sometimes, even though the action is really cool, and she's kick-ass, and I love seeing kick-ass female leads, the plot gets so muddled, and it gets kind of overly complicated, and at that point you kind of lose interest a little bit. I still think it's a really great movie for action fans to check out, but just go in knowing that it's good. Does it beat some of the stuff that's come out in the last few years? I don't think so. Not really, but definitely let me know what you think of female kick-ass action movies and where Anna might rank for you guys. You get dressing a doll, costumes of Anna, anatomy of a scene, unnesting a Russian doll, making Anna, constructing the car chase scene. Oh, not bad actually. Not bad special features at all. If you're a fan of action movies, definitely give this one a chance. If you're a fan of Luc Besson, give it a chance. It's not bad, just going with a little bit of checked expectations though, guys. Then the next thing over here I am seeing is they have the DVD of American Horror Story Apocalypse right here, baby. Yeah. Now, I'm not gonna lie. I don't know which season is my favorite. You know, I've watched bits and pieces of every one of them, be honest with you. I still think the first one, honestly, would rank up there, but I think all of them have good qualities and bad qualities. But I'm really interested in the new season where it's almost like an 80s, like, slasher. Like, there's this guy that's stalking these people at this, like, summer camp, and, you know, the women are skimpy, and they're having sex with the guys, and people are getting, you know, murdered in really, you know, interesting ways. And I was like, out of all of the American Horror Story stuff, I'm really surprised that we finally get that. Like, I thought that would have been, like, sooner, but it looks kind of cool to me. I don't know how the season is so far. Definitely let me know, but I think that new season is probably the one that really piques my interest the most, to be honest with you. That's the one where I'm like, oh, I love the 80s slasher, sort of summer camp killer type of movies. So that is right up my alley. You know, the one where, you know, the guy kind of was imitating Charles Manson in some ways, I wasn't a fan of that one. I felt like there was a drop-off in quality. I'm hoping it kind of picks back up again. Like I said, that first season still to me is bar none like the gold standard, but maybe I'm wrong. Definitely let me know what you think. Let me know what you think of the new season. Is it good? Is it bad? Let me know for sure, guys. But this series is really interesting. I don't know when it's ever going to end. Did Ryan Murphy ever say if there was an end to this at some point? I don't know, but he does a lot of really creative and interesting stuff. So I am interested to see where American Horror Story goes next. If they're doing 80s summer camp stuff, what is the next sort of genre mashup you would like to see? Definitely let me know. I don't see any special features here, which is really odd because I wish American Horror Story Apocalypse, or actually any of the seasons on DVD or Blu-ray, would have better special features. It seems like they're lacking in special features. I'd love to see a making of or a commentary, but they never do that for these. They always skimp out on the features for some reason. Not good. More features for sure. Then, over here I'm seeing they have the Blu-ray DVD digital of Inside Man Most Wanted for $14.99. There's not really much more to say about this one, guys. It looks really generic. It looks average at best. It's aping off of the name of Inside Man, and that's it. You have a poor man's Denzel Washington. You know, not much else, dude, really. At the end of the day, you know, I think this movie's probably very forgettable. Really is. So, you know, is it cool to see sort of a bank heist movie? Yeah, but I could recommend about 5 bank heist movies that are probably way better than this one. So I would probably say skip it. The cover looks kind of generic too. I mean, she kind of looks badass, but kind of looks stupid in that mask as well. So I'm gonna say skip it, dude. I mean, you know, bank heist fans maybe, but yeah, I wouldn't waste my time on this one, guys. And no special features either. There's no special features here, which says a lot about this movie, by the way. Just put it that way. And also, just so you guys know, they have the original Inside Man here on Blu-ray for $4.99. So that 2-pack, by the way, is complete and utter bullshit. Just come to Best Buy and pay $5, and you have the Blu-ray of Inside Man, and you don't even need to worry about Inside Man Most Wanted. Just saying, guys. Just giving you the suggestion. And also over here, even though it's empty, there was supposed to be the Star Wars stuff. the Star Wars Blu-rays here, the new ones that just came out, and they don't seem to have them. I see like the Revenge of the Sith tags, New Hope, Empire, Return of the Jedi, Star Wars Story, Rogue One, Last Jedi. I see all that, but I wonder if they really got them in or not. It's like an empty shelf over here. I don't know, did they? Maybe they didn't. I don't know, it's weird. Huh. We'll go searching if we see it somewhere else, but that's weird. Let's go check there anywhere else, guys. Ah, okay, we're over in the Disney section over here, guys. Why would it not be in the new release section? Well, whatever, it's in the Disney section over here. It doesn't seem like they have everything. They have some, but not all. They have the Attack of the Clones Blu-ray digital for $19.99. They have the DVD only of Revenge of the Sith, $14.99. The Revenge of the Sith Blu-ray digital, $19.99. The Force Awakens DVD, $14.99. Blu-ray, $19.99. Rogue One DVD, $14.99. Blu-ray, $19.99. The Last Jedi, $14.99. Solo, a Star Wars Story, they have that, $14.99 and $19.99 as well. So they do have some selection, but they don't have all of it. Like, they don't have Return of the Jedi. For some reason, both Target and Best Buy do not have Return of the Jedi. And there's a couple more things that seem to be missing here. They don't have A New Hope. They don't have Empire Strikes Back as well. So that's what I'm seeing right here, guys. But, I mean, they're not bad looking. I mean, they're actually really good. They're not bad looking at all. I just see the problem with Star Wars, and it's the same thing with whether I'm talking about Bond or, you know, the Alien franchise or something, is that they put out so many different types of releases. Like, it seems like every couple of years we get a new Star Wars thing, a new Bond thing. And at some point, like, I've always said to you guys, buy smart. Buy smart, because at the end of the day, you really do need to buy smart as a physical media owner, because, I mean, literally, you could basically go bankrupt buying so many of these different type of releases. You need to find the best one, and that's why I say kind of wait till next year, because I guarantee you there will be some sort of release by Disney of all of the Star Wars movies. Maybe there'll be singular releases as well. Give those a chance, because I guarantee it that, I mean, look, we had a 4K Blu-ray of the original release of Solo, a Star Wars Story. Now we have this new release. We have the Last Jedi release. Now we have another Last Jedi release. I mean, all I'm saying, guys, is that you gotta be smart with your purchases, because at certain times, I know for me, I've double dipped like crazy and triple dipped. And I've learned my lesson of, like, waiting until I can find the best release possible. And when I do, that's when I grab it. And I definitely think you guys should do the same thing. If you don't have it, in mild curiosity, I mean, look, $14.99 for a DVD or $19.99 is not bad. But if you already own it and you're waiting for a more superior release, I don't think you're going to get it here, guys. I really don't. I mean, I don't even really see any special features. Oh, there it is. Digital bonus extras included with your Star Wars The Force Awakens digital code. Oh, so you're telling me that with all of these releases, by the way, I didn't even know this, with all of these releases, there are no special features on the disc themselves. They come with the digital code. So you get them on the digital code. That is garbage, guys. That is garbage. So you have to redeem the digital code before you ever get any special features on any of these. I'm sorry, guys, that is a major ripoff. I don't know whether you agree with me or not, but that is a crazy ripoff, dude. I can just buy the Blu-ray or the DVD of the other releases and get the special features. Why do I have to waste my time doing the digital code just to get extra features? I hate when companies do that. I think it's cheap, and I think it's wrong, and I think they screw over the customers for that. That's just me, guys. I hate to say that might be the way of the future, screwing people over by having them forced to use the digital. I'm not a digital hater completely, but when they do that, that's when I'm not a fan, guys. Definitely let me know what you think, but if I were you guys, would honestly wait until a better edition comes out. Ah, this is Disney for you. All right, let's head out. Pretty damn good here at Best Buy this time around, guys. I mean, we've got all of the new releases, we've got some indie titles on top of that, a lot of really cool exclusives this week, man. I mean, even on a week where I didn't really think we'd see a ton of exclusives, they still had some really good selection and variety of exclusive, whether it's that Disney stuff or a different type of like cover art for Shaft, of all things. They always do some really genuine and interesting things, and this week is definitely no exception, guys. Not too bad. They even had some of the Star Wars Blu-rays as well, which is not too bad. They didn't have it all, but they had some of them, which, you know, some is better than none for sure. Actually, really great week overall. A ton of stuff to find and show off this week as usual. All right, let's head home and finish the video. All right, everybody, that'll do it for the Blu-ray and DVD out and about video this week. And damn, man, there is so much stuff to check out every single week. I always say it now, but it really is true. I mean, last week was supposed to be a little bit of a rest, and there was still a lot of stuff to see. This week was just a bonanza of titles, man. Horror and action and thrillers and, exploitation movies and independent titles and TV shows and one thing after another, man. And, I don't remember if it was this exact same way last year or not. Something tells me that last year there was a little bit of a lull and then it really picked up in a big bad way. This is just like every single week there's just a massive amount of stuff coming out, man, and so much stuff to see. And it just seems like there's no end in sight. I mean, there really isn't. I go in every single week to these stores and I'm expecting, oh, it's not going to be so much to show off, and then there's quite a lot. There's a cool display, or there's independent releases, or hey, look, there's an exclusive for that title that I didn't think we'd see an exclusive for, and it just continues down this crazy road, guys. And honestly, it really is true, but this is a great time to be a physical media lover. September has always been a really great month for physical media anyways, because it's stuff preparing for October. You get a lot of the summer releases starting to trickle down. Man, it's just a really great time. Fall is always really great for physical media anyways, but this time around, man, it just seems like there's just one thing after another coming out. So for movie lovers out there, this is a great time to invest in titles. It really is. Whether we're talking independent studio stuff, whether we're talking new releases, there's a lot to check out there. There really is. So take advantage of it, man. Honestly, really take advantage of it, because there's a lot to check out. There's a lot to look into. And, your wallet might be hurting you at a certain point. Your wife might get pissed off. You might be sleeping on the couch, but you'll have the DVDs and Blu-rays to keep you company. So, yes, very happy man indeed seeing all of the cool physical media out there for sure, guys. And like I said, there's a ton of releases out there, man. So definitely, by all means, go for it. Take advantage of it, because there's going to be a time, who knows, maybe early next year or something, where there will be a drop off and we won't see a lot of releases. So if you're looking for titles in a big bad way, you're getting them now. So definitely go for it. And like I said, man, there's so much great releases coming out this time around. I mean, again, horror, animation, action. Oh, like I said, a lot of really great titles out there, man, to show off and talk about and pick up. So I hope you guys picked up something good. If you did, definitely let me know. And as far as I'm concerned, God, where do I start, man? I had quite a bit that came to my doorstep, guys. Certain weeks I don't have a lot of stuff, and other weeks I have a ton. And this happens to be the ton, guys. The first title I got is from Diabolic DVD right here. Now, this is actually an Arrow Video title, which I have never seen before. This is a complete blind buy, but I really was interested in it because I heard a lot of people really talk about how they're really anticipating this release, how it's sort of like people in the woods being stalked by this maniac or somebody or something attacking them. And I was like, I really like those type of movies. And usually Arrow's really good with really showcasing certain titles that, yes, they do a lot of the big releases, but they also do a lot of smaller niche titles that you may not have heard of, but you give a chance to because it's Arrow, and Arrow's really good at what they do. So yeah, this one is one I cannot wait to check out because I like sort of those backwoods being stalked and hunted by something, and I'm surprised I had never heard of this title. So it's definitely one I'm honestly really interested in, guys. I honestly can't wait to dive into this one. So I got that. I also got another package in the mail from Diabolic. This one is actually a Scream Factory release. It's actually a triple dip. Okay, I had it on DVD. Then I got rid of the DVD and I got on Blu-ray. And then this got announced and I was like, okay, I didn't really want a triple dip, but I really love this director. I really enjoy this movie. I think this is one of the more underrated titles in his filmography as a director. It's one that I think has gotten more love over the years, but still deserves to get more love. It's a great vampire movie, and one that I guess I don't mind triple dipping for. I like Scream Factory, and so it's one that I think deserved a collector's edition release, and can't wait to add it to the big old Scream Factory collection for sure. So pick that up from Diabolic. I also got a package in the mail from Severin Films right here. Oh, baby, Severin Films. This is one I pre-ordered a while back. Now, it's actually an Italian horror film that was supposed to be directed by Lucio Fulci, but Lucio Fulci at that time became ill and unfortunately passed away, and they couldn't really do it, so somebody took the reins over for him. It's a very interesting Italian horror flick. Reminds me in a lot of ways, at least from the trailer, of like Waxwork or something. I'm very interested in this title. I like a lot of Italian horror. I can't say I like all Italian horror, but when they announced the title and when I saw the trailer, I was like, you know what? This is an Italian horror film I definitely got to give a chance to. So I'm really happy to pick this up for September, and Severin's always cool, man. So I always really like to give Severin a chance when they have a really good title that I'm interested in. So got that from Severin. I also got a package in the mail from Amazon Prime right here. Oh, baby, this is actually 2 baseball movies on Blu-ray that I got. And now you're thinking to yourself, wait a minute, two baseball movies? Yes. They got announced, and I was like, oh my god, I don't have them in the collection. And I have the first one in the collection. And I really need these ones in the collection because I like the movies. And, why not show this franchise a little love in the collection? So, yeah, so I picked up 2 baseball movies. I'm usually not a big, sports movie fan, but I happen to like this franchise, and it's a franchise that I grew up loving. So, why not represent it in the collection? So, yes, 2 baseball movies right here, guys. And last but certainly not least, I also got a release over at Best Buy, guys. This title I am really happy to pick up because I saw it earlier in the year. I loved it. I thought it was really sort of inventive and creative, and I like the premise behind it, and I think the music is just really wonderful, and it's just a feel-good movie that you end up after you watch the movie, you just want to crank up the music and you just feel good about life, you know. And so I really wanted this one in the collection, so I'm really happy I picked this up over at Best Buy. So yeah, guys, I have this from Best Buy, the two baseball movies, the Severin title, and the two Diabolic releases. Oh baby, yeah, I got a lot of stuff, guys. So, man, I got a lot of stuff for September, man. I really did. Usually, I budget for around maybe 9 or 10 titles each month, and I do that because it's kind of a nice number. And not only that, but it's good to budget those certain things into how much I can spend per month. This month is very different. I'm having a hell of a lot more than 9 or 10. There's a lot of titles that I'm picking up. September was a big pre-order, lots of great movies to pick up, and I cannot wait to show you guys what I got. You guys will have to wait until towards the beginning of next month when I show off all of my titles that I picked up in my Blu-ray Pickles video, which will drop again at the beginning of next month to show off all the titles that I got for the month of September. And again, collector's editions, limited editions, oh my god, rare titles, indie releases, horror stuff, some surprises as well. Yeah, man, there's some really cool stuff I'm getting, so definitely stay tuned to that one for sure, guys. It's going to be a really cool haul by far. It's going to be a long video, but it's going to be one where I'm going to be really happy explaining some of this stuff that I got, because I think it's some really cool haul that I got for sure. And I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, definitely give it a thumbs up. Let me know what you think of the titles this week, what you picked up, and if you're new to the channel, welcome. Check out the other Blu-ray and DVD Tuesday videos I do. Check out the Blu-ray pickup videos I do every month. Check out the theatrical movie reviews I do with my friends, plus much more content that's on the channel. If you love physical media and movies, hit subscribe and become a part of the Film Fan Nation. I want to thank my subscribers. I want to thank you guys, because you really go out of your way to watch what I post. You take the time out of your day to comment. You support the channel and support me, and I really do appreciate it. It keeps me going. It keeps me energized and motivated, and I can't thank for better subscribers out there. You guys are really awesome, and I appreciate each and every one of you so much. So thank you. Honestly, really thank you. I appreciate it so much. And before I go, I wanted to give a little love to an actor that passed away, Sid Haig. Sid Haig passed away this past weekend, and oh man, Sid Haig is amazing. Sid Haig, he is an absolute legend of an actor, and he has done so many wonderful pieces of work. I mean, he was in Batman, the 60s stuff. He was in Coffee, Spider Baby, Bond. Man, he's done numerous amounts of TV show stuff. He was a hardworking actor and a hardworking character actor, and he was absolutely phenomenal. And he got his second wind once Rob Zombie cast him in House of a Thousand Corpses, and that character of Captain Spaulding is now completely beloved by everybody, beloved by me as well. He was just a really great actor, a great giving person. I met him at a horror convention I go to, and he was incredibly nice, easy to talk to, easygoing. He wasn't about the money. He was about the experience with the fans and wanting to talk with people and really getting to know the people that love his work. And he was just absolutely amazing. And I wanted to share a quick thing, which is I have the DVD of A House of a Thousand Corpses, which I love. I got the Blu-ray. And what happened is that I didn't like the Blu-ray. Not because the Blu-ray is terrible by any means, but because the menu changed. This has a great menu on it that has Sid Haig as Captain Spaulding sort of coming out into his shack and sort of talking to you to the camera and being like, well, well, hello everybody, and then he's like, hey, pick a goddamn thing on the menu, will you? And he's sort of berating you while you're looking at the menu screen, and I thought that was fucking brilliant, man. And the Blu-ray doesn't have that, and I'm like, oh, get rid of the Blu-ray. I'll just keep the DVD, man. I miss that so much, and so I will never get rid of this because of Sid Haig, and I just love the character of Captain Spaulding, and I think Sid Haig was a brilliant and genius actor. He did a lot of low-budget horror work and everything, but he always gave it his all no matter what he did, and so I appreciate him so much, and he's going to be missed by not only myself, but everybody out there. So, rest in peace, Sid Haig. You are absolutely going to be missed, but your movies and your legacy will not be forgotten as long as people like myself and you guys cherish these titles in the collection for sure, guys. As long as you do it, he will never be forgotten at all. So rest in peace, sir. You will absolutely, positively be missed. Well, hopefully you'll be watching some cool Sid Haig stuff, guys. And again, keep up to date with everything I'm doing through Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. FilmFan108. Keep up to date with everything I'm doing, plus special videos and pictures I do from time to time on social media as well. Alright, guys, I will see you back next week for a brand new Blu-ray and DVD out and about video. Take care, everybody, and happy hunting.